All right, guys, this next guest is one of the best brothers I know, a lyrical, underrated genius, back for his 5th interview. I'm talking about the one and only Big Lou.
Chop, what's good, Chop? Thanks for having me again. 5th time's a charm.
Yo, man, are you connected to Wi-Fi?
Yeah, man.
All right, just making sure.
Nah, we good. We good.
All right, man. Well,
great.
how you doing?
I'm great, man. I feel good, man. How you, brother?
Hey, man, can't complain. Just on the grind, doing my thizzle, you know?
Yeah, I see you killing it. You killing it.
Well, let's start with the most recent thing, right? Pistol Pete, on a podcast, he told the story about the riot, him running the Puerto Rican flag out and black people getting stabbed. What did you think about that?
I don't know Pistol Pete that good. I ran into him a while ago, like when I was down with K-Slay, and never had no words. You know, we passed each other in the hall. You know what I'm saying? In the hallway when I was with Slay. You know what I mean? Always looked like a stand-up dude to me from what I could see. But on the same
He
note,
seemed thorough.
yeah, he seemed cool, you know, regardless the situation with him and Cube or whatever. You know, he seemed like a, down to earth dude when I first, saw him or whatever. But I don't know. In this situation, man, that nigga just reminded me, he looked like he just took a page from Fat Joe's book. And he just looked it bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what's crazy? Like, I understand where he was coming from in kind of way, but then certain ways that he worded it just wasn't good. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you that. I was like, do you think that he just explained the story like the wrong way or something? Like his word selection was a little off?
Yeah. I mean,
because I don't think he's racist, because like it seems like he's down with a lot of black brothers, you know?
I don't think he's racist at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And that's just coming from him, Mike Beck. Rest in peace, Mike Beck. Mike Beck was down with him at once, and Mike Beck had a lot of love for him, even though they had their differences later on. Mike Beck never talked about him in a crazy or weird way. You know what I'm saying? He was always like, that Pistol Pete was a stand-up dude. You know what I'm saying? He had his little shit here and there, but I just think the way he explained it was wild. You know what I'm saying? It was just a wild way of explaining the shit. But I got it. You know what I mean? But then in another way, he just looked like he just took a page off Fat Joe's book and was capping like a motherfucker, because I couldn't see that happening. You know what I'm saying?
Because what he said was like, he said that he told all his black brothers that he was down with to stay in their cell. And then like whoever came after that was getting stabbed. He said, we stabbed everybody that was black. And just the way that sounded, it just sounded real bad, bro. It looked real bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what I meant. Like the way he just worded shit, it just didn't come out good. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he was wording the situation just made it look like he was racist. You know what I'm saying? And he's not. To me, he's not. I don't think he's racist. It's just my opinion. But you always got to be mindful on how you say things. You know what I mean? To me, I knew where he was coming from because situations in jail that I heard, like, from some of my friends, some of my homies that been locked up that did long bids, you get down, you know what I mean? Like, situations like that do happen, you know what I mean? And sometimes when you either Latin King, Nieta, Bloods, Crips, or whatever, everybody got they squad or whatever, it could go down a certain type of way that you don't want it to go down, you know what I mean? But I just think a situation like that, man, he had to touch it different, you know what I mean? And the way he touched it, it was almost like it was like Fat Joe telling the story. You know, everybody know when Fat Joe tell a story, King Cat. You know what I'm saying? He was baby King Cat that day, baby King Pete. And it was like, and I don't know Pistol like that. You know what I mean? I think he a stand up brother. That's not, taking no shot at him, but I just think he just had to clean it up. That's it. You know what I mean? And just admit he fucked up on how the way he said it and apologize. You know what I mean? And just be a man, apologize. You know what I'm saying? Not be egotistical and be like, man, fuck that. I stand on, you know what I mean? Like he did. I stand on what I said instead of a whole bunch of nothing. You know what I mean? Just apologize, you know what I mean? And if you wrong, you wrong. That's cool. You said it wrong. That's all. You know what I mean? Apologize. Real motherfuckers is, will appreciate that more than you trying to stand on something that don't make sense. Cause then if you try to stand on something that don't make sense, now you making it look like you racist for real. You feel me? And that's what I be talking about. Like, yo,
You're
just
talking about
own your
his
shit.
response, right? His response didn't
Yeah.
seem like he was like
Yeah.
very like. It seemed like he was blaming everybody else for like making it
Mm-hmm.
something else. But it
Right.
was like I could see that. I could see like how headlines could run with stuff. But
Right.
at the same time, he needed to take a little bit of accountability that he didn't
Right.
present it in the best
Exactly.
way.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. He should have definitely took accountability for saying it wrong and just admit like, yo, I was wrong. I said the story wrong. I don't want y'all to, feel like this and, just take accountability and the real ones is going to respect that more than him trying to stand on some bullshit. Cause it just seemed, I was confused on what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like his response, I was just confused. I ain't know what the fuck he was talking about at that point.
Right.
And but on the same note, I don't think he prejudiced or nothing. You know what I mean? I always, it always looked like he was a stand-up dude from what I know from people I knew that knew him. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that, like Mike Beck. Like I said, rest in peace, Mike Beck. Um, always say he was a thorough nigga. So just all that. I just think he just had to tighten up. Some of the things he said.
Cuban said that he heard that story before, but it was someone else that did that, not Pistol Pete.
Mm. And it could have, but who knows? You know what I mean? Because sometimes
right,
certain people, especially people that's on like the Joes of the world, the 50s, you know what I mean? The Rick Rosses, they take people's story that came from something real and they run with it. You know what I'm saying? And they make that story their story. So it could have been, you know what I mean? But who knows? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think he should have tightened up on how he said the shit because it made him look like he was just racist as hell. You know what I mean? And that's not a good look. Especially in the type of shit that he's in. He got a label. You know what I mean? He does music. You know what I mean? And music, it really, what I mean? Hip hop. I ain't even got to get into that. You know what I mean? We talked about the whole thing. We know where that come from. So you got to be mindful of things like that. You know what I mean? You also got to understand that we guests in the house of hip hop. You know what I mean? Don't turn it for something something that ain't. That's just my take.
Did you watch that whole interview?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his response, and I saw the response. The response was only like a minute, 2 minutes long, so it wasn't a long response, but it was a bullshit
But
response to
I'm
me.
saying though, like that whole interview seemed a little weird because like even when he was recalling how many years he did in prison, what year he went in, what year he
Right,
got
right.
out, it was really confusing, right? Like he couldn't recall it, and even the host was all like, "Wait a minute, that's not adding up. The math is not mathing up." And then he asked him again later on in the interview, and he was just like looking at him like, yo, like I don't believe this. Like, you know what I mean? Like it really didn't look good. So
Right,
I don't know if like he was just off that day or what, but
right. I mean, sometimes I don't look too deep into shit like that because people always trying to find something. You know what I mean? And trust me, I'm in no shape or form defending Pistol Pete. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that brother like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and y'all know I ain't defending him. You know, he down with a nigga that, you know what I'm saying, that I don't hardly fuck with, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But on the same note, people always try to find something. You know what I mean? They always try to find something. So I don't look too deep into that. I just think he said the shit wrong and he should have just apologized and owned it and just apologized and said, yo, I said it wrong. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to come off like that. You know, I meant to word it like this and clear it up. You know what I mean? That way, you know, the real ones is gonna respect that. You know what I mean? Just own it up. Don't try and stand on something that just don't make no sense because now you're gonna look bad. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, you know, we guess in the house of hip hop, man, and you got to remember that this is hip hop, what we do. You know what I mean? Whatever case may be. You know what I mean? You doing the interviews, whatever. It stems from hip hop. So that's just my take on it.
One thing that I can say that I did appreciate about his response was that he did say, come on, like gangsters grow up too and stuff now. Like, and he was
Yeah,
trying to like go like a more mature route. And we've seen like what he's doing with Rikers Island and the prison work and stuff.
yeah.
So like, you gotta show like respect that, he is doing good and out here too. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, yeah. He's and he's still learning. You could tell he's still learning, you know what I mean? Because even, you know, the way he talk, even me, like when I do my interviews, I'm not the best person, you know, that speaks. Some people speak very well, you know what I mean? They give good answers, and some people they so and so, you know what I mean? I'm a street dude. Well, an ex street dude. Let's say ex street dude. So my vocab wasn't always tip top condition. You know what I mean? Even though I speak well, but it wasn't always tip top condition. But like when him trying to explain, he reminded me like of my, and I'm not coming at him or you know what I mean, take it like you want, but he remind me of my ex-wife. My ex-wife, she always used to try and sound smart and say words, you know what I mean? The dynamic was catastrophic to the tears that came down my eyes. And it symbolized as something in a Rosterian way. And I'll be like, what the fuck is you talking about? She was like, I'm just trying to elude the love that I have for you. Nah, just say you love me or something. You ain't gotta say all that extra shit. So that's when he explains about shit like that, that's how he comes off. Like, yo, my brother's in jail. You know what I mean? I do it for the commissionary and and the words don't just come out right. So I'll be like, yo, what the fuck is Pistol Pete talking about? And then he stumbles on his words and shit. He be trying to sound educated and sound dumb. And I just think he should just sound like Pistol Pete. Street nigga. That's it. That's what he speaks well in. Street form. You know what I mean? You know, if you understand what I'm saying, like a lot of cats
You're
think,
saying that it's not natural to his speech.
yeah,
Like you could
exactly.
tell when somebody like this is how you normally talk,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, don't try and sound smart. You know what I mean? Because you're not you. I'm not trying to say he's not smart, but I'm saying he's not well spoken. You know what I mean? And a lot of people they try to you know be well spoken and they not. You know what I mean? They try and use words that they don't even know the fucking meaning of, and make that word make sense. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta fall back off that shit.
What do you think about the whole Diddy trial right now?
The Diddy trial, man. The Diddy trial, that joint, that's interesting, man. Because for some reason,
Yo, this
yo,
is crazy, man. Yo, it's crazy.
that for some reason, I think he's gonna get off, yo. It just feel like,
For real?
it just feels like you just seen Kanye West come to support him.
I know.
That was crazy. But shit like that, don't get it fucked up, because Kanye West still hold a lot of weight. Y'all can say he crazy and all that shit, but Kanye West, you know, Trump is his best friend. And Trump, they even said Trump is ready to pardon Diddy. If y'all ain't know that, Trump is thinking about giving a pardon to Diddy if he go to jail. So,
Well, the last I heard about that, he said that like no one's asked me yet, but it would be something I would have to think about or something like that, right? Didn't he say something like that?
man, if he thinking about giving Tory Lanez, if he thinking about pardoning Tory Lanez, he's gonna definitely pardon his perv brother. Come
Yo,
on.
because they did have somewhat of a relationship in the past, right? Or I guess because Trump was real respected in hip hop before the presidency and all that, right? Like
Oh
everybody
yeah.
was rapping like, "Yo, we want to make money like Trump." We this and like you see him
Oh,
like Fresh Prince. See him taking pictures with people and all that, you know.
everybody was hooking him up with all the hip hop girls. So
Oh, come
so
on, don't go there, don't go there. No, no, no,
that's what
come
it
on,
was, bro.
man.
They was hooking him up. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
R.
no,
Kelly, all
man,
them
no.
niggas, they was hooking him
No,
up with all
no,
this.
no,
Yeah.
come on, man. No, no,
What?
no, let's not go
It's
there.
for
All right,
real.
back to
It's
Diddy though.
real.
All right, but to
Back
Diddy,
to Diddy.
have you been reading like the statements that have been made on the stand from like Cassie and like the assistants and all that shit like that, and
Yeah,
Kid
man.
Cudi and all that?
I think Cassie, Cassie, I don't know, man. Cassie, I mean, no woman should have to go through that. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be abusing no woman. That's just my take. You shouldn't be. But she remind me of one of them prostitutes trying to steal the pimp's motherfucking money, his drugs, and everything. And I think that's why Diddy really got mad because she took his bag of drugs, she took all his pills, everything. Cause it's like, yo, if you wanted to leave, why did you have to take his stuff? Just grab your bags and leave. You know what I'm saying? If you tired, you're not gonna take drugs and stay. I mean, I could get it if you addicted, you know what I'm saying? Because at this point, she's already addicted. So the drugs is one thing, but you took everything. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at two sides of the story. You know what I mean? Like people that live that street life and know about you just know about that life. They know how that get down. You feel me? In some ways, Diddy looked innocent, towards the way she was acting. Cause Cassie liked it fucking. Cassie liked it doing all that kinky shit. Don't get it fucked up. She stood
Well,
there.
it seems like you have to analyze it from the span of the entire relationship, which was what, like 10 years or something like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
So it's like there were times where she was into it to
Mhm.
make him happy, and then there was times when she wasn't, you know. So it's like I don't know how you. I guess they say like all she needs to do is say no one time, and if she's forced, then that's
That's it.
considered right. You know what I'm
That's
saying? So,
it.
but it's like a slippery slope. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like yeah.
Look, man, the decent girls that's really decent women that didn't want it to get abused or nothing, you gonna know from the jump. They gonna let you know, oh no, I ain't doing none of that. That shit ain't happening. You feel me? You ain't fucking me and your friends and that. You know what I mean? They gonna nip that shit in the bud from the rip. But she stood there, you know what I mean? I hate when people say, oh yeah, he got her when she was naive and all that shit. At what point in time does it hit you like, yo, you got to get away from this because this is getting worse? You know what I mean? The sex games is getting worse. The getting high is getting worse. The addiction is crazy. You feel me? Because even Diddy was addicted. You know what I'm saying? So him being addicted made him more of a fucking sex perverted nigga. You know what I'm saying? And in the real world, some of the shit he was doing ain't really perverted. Cause you got niggas out here that's freaks. You know what I'm saying? They freaks. Women is freaks. You feel me? And that shit is kind of the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like if you a freak in the bed, it's kind of a plus. You know what I mean? But to take it to the extra world, you know what I mean, that some of them niggas is living in, then that's crazy. You know what I mean? With some of the shit that they doing. But I don't know, man. I just feel that Cassie, if she really wanted to get out, she would have been got out a long time ago. To stay all them years, that mean that she liked it to a certain
Well,
extent.
you got to look at the psychology of it, right? So it's like when you're in an abusive relationship, um, there's a lot of different layers that go to it. Why people go back to their abuser and everything, but at the same time, I think that it's been painted too black and white in the situation where it's like, oh, she's just completely without fault to anything, and there has to be a little bit of accountability on her part too.
Exactly.
It's a little
Exactly.
too much where it's like it's just Diddy
Yeah.
and that's it, but there is like accountability on her part too because she admitted she did like it, some of it at least, right?
Oh, she did
So there
admit it?
has to be. She said that she on the stand, she said, that she wanted to make him happy. So she did enjoy it. There were times that she, was into it, it seems like. But
Right, right.
so there has to be some accountability for that. What did you think about when they were talking about Kid Cudi's car getting blown up? And he gave the testimony for that though, bro. So I mean,
Um,
and the assistant confirmed it too.
I believe, nah, I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. You can't, you gotta understand, man. You know, he did a lot. You know, did he come, his father, his father was gangster. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, his father was gangster. Just because he looked the way that dancing nigga got money. So, you know, money go a long way, man. And listen, that jealousy and that rage, that'll cause a man like him to do anything.
That would cause a square, a
Yeah,
nerd to go do something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like let's
I
not
make a lot,
forget that
yeah.
love
Yup,
and jealousy and temporary emotions and
yup.
all that shit like that will drive somebody
Oh
to
yeah.
do something to put them in prison forever. I feel like this case is so crazy because it's like it could go either way at this point. Now we're not talking. We know that Diddy did a lot of fucked up stuff, right?
Mhm.
And you could call him a piece of shit, but do they have enough to convict him is the real question, right? You gotta look at it like from my man Denzel's perspective, right? It's all like it's not what you know, it's what you can
Yup,
prove.
yup. You say, yeah, my dick.
That's yeah,
My
that's
dick.
that's what it
Yup,
is,
yeah,
right?
it's true.
Because we all know it's not about just morally correct,
Yeah.
right? It's like, yes, morally he's been wrong. He's done a lot of bad things, but
Mhm.
legally, what can we prove to really show that he is exactly what we say he's guilty of?
Mm.
you know
Mhm.
and that's what it comes down
Yeah,
to. Now I think that they've made some real good points throughout the trial,
but
but at the same time I do think that there's stuff that we thought was going to be stronger that hasn't been.
I just think right now I think they winning. I just think the angles the lawyers is come. Like, I just think they winning. You saw at first he looked it in the first day or two. He looked a little bit distraught. He like wasn't there, but now you see him. He calm. He collective. He, you know, they teaching him. They teaching him very well. He not even looking at the drawers no more. You see him. He like, man, I don't give a fuck who's the drawers. He not even
Well,
looking
because
that way.
the judge told him that he can't do that. He like was saying that the way he was
But
looking
it
at him was
don't
like
matter.
threatening.
But it don't matter. That's the part that I'm trying to say. It don't matter. When when they used to tell motherfuckers like, yo, don't look at him, you still be trying to get your message across. Diddy is too, he's flawless right now. He looking real good right now. You feel me? And then Kanye came in and you know what I mean? I guess, you know what I mean, that electrical perversion just kicked in and you know what I mean, it kicked them to high gear and then that shit they got some type of energy there because yo, he's to me, he's winning. To me, he winning. He really is.
Have you watched the interviews of the Punisher?
Which one?
The guy that
The boy,
that
yeah.
testified,
Yeah, the main one.
had the interactions with Cassie
Yeah,
and Diddy and stuff.
yeah, the one that was nailing the shit out of her. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And then he revealed that like he would bust on her, and then she admitted that Diddy would like the
yeah.
semen on his nipples and shit like that.
Hmm.
Pause is just
Yeah,
disgusting. Like,
yeah.
bro. And
Nah, niggas, yo,
wow, bro, yo.
but that's what I'm saying. Like there's men out here, like, well, mainly white boys. There's white boys that like seeing Spanish or black men fuck their wife. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's just the truth about it. They want to see,
Like they get off on like the skin color
yeah,
difference and all this shit like this.
exactly,
It's weird, bro. It's like
yeah,
it's some
yeah.
weird
You know what
kinky
I'm
shit. I
saying?
don't
They
know.
either want motherfucking, a black man and shit, Shaka Zulu, or they want motherfucking Hector Lavoe. Like, yo, sing why you hitting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want it. You know what I mean? But but for real, nah, for real, yo. And yo, that's just
Sing
perverted
bailamos
niggas.
while you hitting it. Bailamos.
You start hitting the bongos
Let
out
me
that
dig
motherfucker.
in your asshole and
Nigga be hitting the ass cheeks like bongo.
right.
Shit, niggas, and the motherfucker be sitting on the couch jerking off like, yeah,
Yo,
like,
that's what the Punisher was saying about Diddy. He was in the
yeah,
corner with the Astro Glide and shit like that. He
yeah,
had the veil on, and
yeah,
yo, that is just
yeah,
crazy, bro. Like,
yeah. You could tell Diddy liked it all that. You know what I mean? You could tell he was gay from day one, though. You know what I mean? Like, but
I'm telling you, but like now, like you can't say take that anymore because this motherfucking thing.
that's why he really was saying that shit. That's why really that shit made sense to him. You know what I mean? And shit. And then that's why you think he Biggie? Because Biggie was like, nah, fuck that, nigga. Now I know what you mean by take that, nigga.
Oh man, come on, man.
Like,
All
nah, Biggie
right.
saw too much shit. Biggie saw too much shit. And
Well, that's
Biggie
why they
wasn't
show that
having it.
picture of Biggie like looking at Diddy like in a you see where his eye is like he's keeping his eye like on Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah, the motherfucking that nigga used to keep the jacked up eye on Diddy, like, nigga, I'm
Right.
watching
They
your
said
ass,
that
nigga.
he's not cockeyed. He's just had to keep his
Yeah,
eye
he
on
had to
Diddy.
keep that eye on Diddy, because Diddy, boy, that nigga, he might have tried him. That nigga was trying everybody. That nigga was perverted as hell, bro. So if you know Diddy was perverted like that, can you imagine Trump and these other niggas?
What do you think about Fat Joe and Jada Kiss podcast?
That shit is cringy like a motherfucker, yo.
Why?
Jada is the shit. Jadakiss is the funniest motherfucker without wanting to be funny. Jadakiss is just a funny nigga. And he don't try to be funny. That's just
Right.
him.
He got that serious demeanor.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's just him. Nah, not even serious demeanor. He's a jokester, but he don't try to be, he don't gotta try hard. He's just funny. He's
Right.
one of, you know what I mean, like one of my boys that's animated, and you know what I mean? Like, he's that type. Now, Joe, it should have just been the Joe podcast, because that nigga don't shut the fuck up. He talks through the whole fucking thing. And Jadakiss just be looking, putting the hood on, laughing, and I'm like, come on, Jada, man. Yo, that shit is just cringe worthy. Every time that Jadakiss say one word, that nigga cuts him off. Yo, he remind me of Nori when he first started Drink Champs.
Nori still do that though. Nori's still real bad about
Nah,
that
but
stuff.
Nori chilled out a lot, though. He
Yeah,
chilled
but
out a
he's
lot.
still. I wouldn't say that he's a good podcaster. He's entertaining as hell,
Yeah.
but he's not like a good podcaster,
Well, you
especially
right.
not to interview somebody.
You right.
If you're just like the main person, as like you're talking and you're talking about different points, like if it was just him and DJ EFN, it would work differently, you know. But
Right.
like when someone's trying to answer a question, he be cutting people off
Nah,
like a
he
lot
do.
though with that.
He still do it. But see, the difference is that Joe don't drink or none of that shit.
Right.
The advantage they got with Nori is that Nori drinks. So they like, yo, just drink extra shots for you to shut the fuck up. So when he drink extra shots, he got the shot look. He like, oh shit, I feel good as hell. He high as shit. So, you know what I mean? He got them extra shots in him, so he shuts the fuck up. But if Joe, man, you gotta get that motherfucker. Yo, that nigga don't shut the fuck up, bro. He talk too fucking much,
Yo,
bro.
but you know, with him though, right? He's admitted in the past that like the hardest thing for him to have done while making content like this is to let people talk. Because from the
Mhm.
big show, whatever he had on Instagram when he was doing that, you know, like he would be asking somebody a question, then he'd cut him off and say, "Let me tell you about so and so." You know what I'm saying? I got a story, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, we want to
Yeah,
know what the guest is gonna say, bro. You know, and then so he had the Fat Joe talks on Stars and shit like
right,
that.
right.
Like he just need like a solo show
Yeah.
where it's just him talking about what he thinks about everything. That's what it is.
He just need no show. He need
No
no fucking
show.
show. 'Cause nobody want to hear that nigga. Like nobody want to hear him, bro. That nigga is fucking. He's a fucking liar. He's corny as fuck. The motherfucker is corny. It's just. And then he swear he look. Yo, why the fuck this motherfucker think he look good? He like, yo, I don't age, nigga. You look 70, nigga. You look your age, nigga. And since you lost that fucking weight, your fucking skin, your fucking eye does this weird thing. Like it just jump up and down, and then his other eye, man, the fuck out of here, nigga. Like,
Well, you know, they say that the Ozempic, right? It not only makes you lose fat, it makes you lose muscle. And a lot of people that take it lose muscle in their face too. So then they get the sunken eyes too. That's what happens. That's one of the side effects for it.
so that's why he got the sunken face.
I
He
don't
got the
know, but
sunken face.
that's part of it though. I mean, you don't think that Joe's entertaining? I think he's entertaining.
That nigga is whack and a fucking liar, bro. That nigga's if you
I'm not
like
saying that he's
capping,
not that, but I'm just saying that he's still entertaining.
watch everybody gonna be like, oh, Lou just hating on. No, it's not hating. If you literally can sit here and if you see how he just talks, the Jada and Joe show shows you that shit. Like you don't see how he don't let Jada barely talks. He says, bro, fucking time, how many times? Time it. Time how many minutes this nigga talk. And time, I bet you Jada don't even fucking talk
You
fucking
know what
30
they needed?
seconds.
They needed a girl in the middle as the
I
moderator.
agree. I agree. I agree. And then again, he probably would have got mad at that bitch and fired her.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that
Yeah,
part.
for real. He
Yo,
would
could
have
you have
fired
seen
her.
his face if she like cut him off or like said something smart to him?
Yeah.
This motherfucker would have lost it. He would have
Yeah.
lost it.
Yeah. He would have lost it like a motherfucker because that nigga, he just loved talking. I'm like, oh my God, just shut the fuck up. And then when he start making up the stories again, I'm like, oh my God. You just get tired of hearing it. It's cringy. I don't know. It just does nothing for me, yo. I don't
What do you think of when he did the whole cereal glizzy eater thing?
he just proved that he like eating glizzies. That's what he said, right?
But yo, Jada's response was hilarious. He
Oh
was
my
like,
God, they had
"Yo,
me.
pause."
And then he get mad. He got mad. He got mad, and then he's like, I come from an era where the pause, nigga, we the ones that discovered the pause shit. We just didn't used to say pause. We used to say, yo, stop slipping. We used to say, yo, you slipping. Or we used to go, oh, what, nigga? Like, you feel me? Like, we been doing that shit since back in the day. So what the fuck era you talking about? Like, nobody, come on, man. Ever since I was young, fucking 10, 20 years ago, we used to do that shit. My nigga would come with some new shoes, like, yo, my nigga, I just came from Dick's. And I'm like, what, nigga? You came from Dick's? Yeah, nigga, they only had 9.5. I needed 11 in my life. I'm like, God damn, nigga. Nigga, you gotta say Dick's Sports Store. You can't just say
Right.
Dick's.
Sporting goods.
Yeah.
Okay, sporting goods.
Hey, we used to go like, what, nigga? What the fuck? Damn, you like Dick's? Yeah, nigga. You comfortable fit? I'm like, God.
Comfortable fit. Yo. Pause.
I'm like, this motherfucker crazy.
Oh my
Yo, come
God,
on. We've been
man.
doing pauses for years, bro. Yo, we've been doing pauses for years, yo. Pauses for years. And this nigga like, yo, I don't come from the era of pause. Come on, nigga. Now you just catching feelings. Cause he catches feelings. He catches
Then he
feelings.
tried to beef with Joe Budden on purpose because he knew that it would get them more attention.
Exactly.
And Joe knew that. Joe knew what
Yeah.
was going on. He was like, yo, I got the seats that I wanted. I don't care. He's like, you know, I still got more money than all of you. Which this motherfucker's been podcasting for a long time, bro.
I don't
So
know,
he had them
motherfucking Joe
Spotify
might.
deals and all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he got more. You think he got more podcasting money than Joe? Than Joe
Hell
Button?
yeah, he got more money than Joe.
No,
But
no. I'm saying more podcasting money than Joe Button's.
who? Joe Budden has more, or Fat Joe does?
Who you think have more podcasting money? Fat Joe?
Joe Budden for sure. Joe Budden for
Exactly.
sure has way more
That's
money.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I know, but that's why Joe Budden said that to him. He said that, you know, I still got more money than all
Hell
of you.
yeah, he do.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm
I do
saying.
believe
Like,
that.
bro, like, come on, man.
This man, Joe Budden, walked away from Spotify after he first had to deal with them and all that money, right? So that means that you must be real good
You make the money
with your money if you're gonna walk away from Spotify at that point, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Joe just trying to get hot off of something that he has no idea what he's doing. He's starting to learn. And it's not hard. It's not hard to do, but it takes somebody good to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I respect a lot of podcasters. You know what I mean? Like 10 Toes Down. I fuck with 10 Toes Down. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You know, shout out
Yo,
to 10 Toes Down.
shout out to bro
Yo,
10
I
Toes,
fuck
man.
with that nigga. Like, I fuck with that. That nigga remind me of one of my niggas. Like, you know what I mean? I fuck with 10 Toes. And motherfucking, the other boy, I can't fuck with that nigga. I don't like the other nigga just like somebody got knocked the fuck out back in the day and shit.
Who you talking about?
Dick the
You're not
Drip.
talking about Hassan because you got love for Hassan too.
Nah, I got love for Hassan too. Hassan, that's a funny motherfucker too. Shout out to Hassan Campbell. But
yeah, shout out to Hassan.
What's the name? Dick the Drip.
Oh my God, no, come
Bitch
on,
the
man.
Drip.
Why don't you like Zip?
Oh, Zip the Drip. Zip the Drip. Nah,
he funny as hell, man. Zip the Drip is
dope.
What?
Zip need to zip this fucking trap, nigga. That nigga, he just make. I don't like that. He tries to. He's always on that bullshit. You feel me? Like, keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like motherfuckers like 10 Toes. They keep it more authentic. You feel me? Like, this shit is more authentic.
I don't know. I think Zip is entertaining as hell, though.
Why? Because he sound and look retarded?
I ain't say all that, bro. Come on. Why don't you like him, though?
He just sound and look fucking retarded. He say dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The only joint that I probably saw that made a little bit of sense, and he was commanding that interview only because he knew this nigga didn't know what he was talking about, was when he was interviewing the boy, this boy's son. This boy from Harlem. He was interviewing the boy's son. The fuck is his name? And he was trying Sonny too. He was trying Sonny more than that. You know what I mean? He was trying to play him the fuck out too. You know what I mean? But shit like that is what I don't like. Like, come on, man. Like, why you trying to play that young brother out? You know what I mean? I don't like shit like that.
You know, it's crazy though, because like everyone is like doing podcasts now. So like all these rappers,
Everybody
right? It shows that like podcasts are way more lucrative than the rap game is now.
Yeah, but it's
like
fucking up the rap game. It's fucking up the rap game because next thing you know, ain't gonna be no more hip hop.
Right, because rap has really become more of the stepping stool just for your name to be known. And then now you're making your money everywhere else, right?
Yep.
But I think overall it's just the internet, because it's like before where like if you had an issue with someone, how could you get it out? Like either you
Right.
have to like really find an outlet, you know, with like a
Right.
magazine or MTV or whatever, right, to
Exactly.
say something. Now it's like you just or make a diss track, right? It's you resort to the hip hop way. I'm gonna go do the track. Now
Right.
it's like, nah, I'm just gonna say everything online, and I never have to go make the track.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so everything is more like talking now versus making the actual music in that way.
Right. And then again, you even got some of the niggas that use the platform to start a rap career. Cause I saw certain niggas using it and starting to spit their own rhymes. I'm like, oh my God, like this shit is this shit is just fucking pathetic, bro. I don't know, man. I just think that's that kind of shit. Like, leave that shit to people that really deserve, like I said, the Hassan Campbells, 10 toes down. Of course, my brother Panda Chop, you know what I mean?
Yay,
You
yay.
you don't try to be nobody. You got your own swag. You do a hell of a job. You know what I mean? The same way Hassan Campbell got his swag, 10 toes. You know what? Brothers like that. Leave that to them. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I mean? Fucking fat fuck wanna motherfucking have the Joe and Jada show. Like, come on, man. Like, leave that shit to, you know what I mean? I'm not dissing Joe, but bro, like, leave that shit to motherfuckers, the podcasters. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get your hand in everything, you know what I mean? Well, I can't knock him and shit, cause you know what I mean? Fuck around, go bankrupt again, as then, you know,
All right. Well, what do you think about the whole Remy Ma and Papoose situation?
shit, Pap. I mean, I got mixed reviews with that too. I believe Remy to a certain extent, cause I see shit like that. But then again, you know, I'm happy for Pap too, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie. I'm happy that, you know, he found somebody that, you know what I mean, that appreciates him, I guess, until she leave his ass. If she leaves his ass and then, you know, something wrong. But, you know, I think they really got a good chemistry. I think they really love each other. You feel me? I think,
Yo, this man is walking her down to the fucking ring. He rapping, he doing the
yeah,
pads with her and stuff like that.
yeah,
You
you
gotta,
gotta respect
you
that.
know, appreciate that.
Yeah, you gotta respect that. You know what I mean? But then again, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, you know, you gotta understand that, you know, his career been over too, a long time ago. So shit, eh, a lot of niggas, if their career's over and they ain't got nothing, they better hold them bags or do something. He better
Well, he worked for TuneCore, and then he been putting out albums still.
tune whore.
Come on, Lou.
Come
Come
on, man.
on, Lou. Come on,
Come on,
man.
tune who? Oh my God. Come on.
From the distribution company TuneCore.
Like I was saying, sometimes it's good to carry bags and, you know, be a good standing dude, a good hubby, you know, that way, you know, you could afford to find the things in life, you know what I mean, off your woman's grit and grind. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I think the situation though, like whether Remy is telling the truth or not, she's made herself look so bad in this situation though. Just like her approach to everything
Right.
has not benefited her. You know what I mean? Like it just keeps on looking like you crashing out because you jealous, you don't want him to be happy or whatever. Like I think that from the last time, I didn't think it could get any worse. And I thought that finally you guys just gonna handle it behind the scenes. But it's like, damn, like you gotta do this again and it's worse this time. I mean, that daughter of theirs is gonna grow up and whether she hears it from someone else at school or she eventually one day stumbles upon it online herself,
Right.
she gonna see all this shit, bro. You know what I mean? She gonna see it. Like, damn, my mom said that about my dad or whatever. Or like, for example, the worst thing was she was calling Pap's son gay, right? And exposed that he's gay. I mean, like that wasn't necessary, bro. Like she didn't have to take it there.
His son is gay.
That's what she said. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what she said.
Yeah, somebody I heard something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, she was very immature on a lot of shit though. I mean, but at the end, I think he kind of played himself too. He was over explaining himself. You know what I'm saying? At
Yeah.
the end, he started over explaining himself, and it just didn't look good for him at that point either. You know what I'm saying? He should have just stood the fuck shut. You know what I mean? And kept on motherfucking, training with his motherfucking girl, his new girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Or his new bankroll, and motherfucking should have just, did that and not talk. Let Remy keep talking, you know what I'm saying? But when he started talking, I started seeing a different light.
Mm,
But I think Remy fucked up stepping out on him, but I think Remy was tired of him a long time ago. I think Remy wanted out a long time ago. You feel me?
right.
And he was still sticking around for the daughter and everything, which was a noble thing, man. But when a woman don't want you, yo, just leave. Find somebody else. You know what I mean? Don't keep on sticking around. He was sticking around watching her fuck niggas, dudes, everything. I'm like, God damn, this nigga. Mm.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you think about that? That he said that she said actually that yo he hasn't come seen our daughter, and then Pap is saying like yo you won't even let me see our daughter.
No, I think they was I think I think both of
They
them
both wrong.
they both wrong. Yeah, they both wrong. Cause Pat act like he's super dad, but that nigga ain't no super dad. You know what I mean? Like everybody, they make him look like he's not that. He's not that. Because if that was the case, that same energy would have been put into his son. And if his son is gay or whatever, then he got a lot of explaining to do about that. You feel me? Like, and I ain't saying it in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? But if your son is a homo, that's still your son. You know what I mean? Are you gonna shit on your son, or you gonna stand by him?
Well, that's what he didn't he say? Didn't he say that Remy is the actual one that be shitting on gay people, and he don't have a problem with gay people?
I don't know, bro. That's hard to believe. See, now from me knowing a little bit of history from not only him, from rappers in general, motherfuckers is real homophobic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, rappers always took a bad look because they didn't want to be around gay motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. And times is different now. You feel me? Like times is different, and some motherfuckers they cool with, you know what I'm saying, with it. You don't gotta be down with that shit, but you know what I mean? So him saying he ain't had that nigga lying like a motherfucker. That nigga lying. To me, it's just bullshit. You know what I mean? Cause we all got family members that's gay. You feel me? We either got a fucking gay brother, a gay cousin, or something. You know what I mean? And you gotta learn to love them. You know what I mean? Cause they your family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some niggas choose to love them a different way, but that's another story. but but as far as his son go, I never heard him talk about his son at all. You know what I mean? So how fucked up is that? You know what I'm saying? That don't make you a good dad. You all them years you want to start showing off your daughter with Remy, but you ain't never showed off your son.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't feel that.
What do you think about Pap saying that he thinks that she may be on drugs?
I think that nigga on drugs. I think that nigga on drugs on some real shit. Like I think all them niggas do drugs. They do some type of drugs, you know what I mean? You get high or something, some is addicted. I just don't think Remy is it, Remy didn't do the right thing. You know what I mean? But I don't think Remy is as bad as they making her look. You feel me?
Mm.
To me, I think she made valid points. She didn't want to be with him and he didn't want to leave. She been trying to get out of that. And he's trying to make it look like she didn't want that nigga back. She happy that nigga going. When people paint this narrative like she's happy, I mean she's miserable, you know what I'm saying, and he's happy, man, that's the same way people just think that they know people that they never seen in their fucking life. I think Remy is as happy as she's ever been, honestly. That's just my take on it. My
She's
opinion.
not doing a good job though of presenting things in the best way. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? Like I
she's doing a terrible job. She doing it, she
right,
did a terrible job though. She did a terrible job and she owns some of it. You feel me? She owns some of it, but then, you know, she kept coming at certain situations in a way that is not how a lady handles shit. You feel me? But then you gotta see where Remy come from too. You know what I mean?
right,
Remy come from something that's not good. So you gotta understand, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I just hate that people making it look like Pap is this innocent dude. You know what I'm saying? And never stepped out on his wife. Man, there's two sides to every story.
right.
That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah, she fucked around with a geek ass nigga. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? You know, easy the block captain. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the block captain of the block snitching and shit. You know what I mean? And
Oh, come on, man.
who would want that name though? Easy the block captain. Block captains was the captains of the block that watch neighborhood watch. You feel me? You know that, right?
Right.
It was a neighborhood watch that they made like worldwide. And they said they're gonna pick a block captain. So
So
why
you're
would
saying that
you
he chose a name that is like equivalent to saying you a
to
snitch,
to a snitch?
basically.
Yeah, exactly. Who would want that name? Easy to block captain. Like nigga, I get what he think it is. He think, oh nah, I'm the block captain of of what real
I'm holding the
niggas.
block down.
Man, yeah, you holding the motherfucking sirens down, nigga. Easy to block. Woo, woo, woo. Oh shit.
What do you think about her saying that he pawned her shit?
That who pawned this shit?
Pawn poos. That's what she calling him, pawn poos.
Papoose? I think he might have did it. I think when she was locked up, he fell on a little hard times. He wasn't.
No, 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 not when she was locked up, but like after the fact, like when they've been together. But
Oh,
is it
after the fact.
okay? What?
After the fact, he pawned her shit.
Yeah, like more like recent years, like he was pawning some stuff. She showed like some papers and stuff of the pawning,
Oh
like
shit.
her jewelry. But I mean, do you blame him for that? Like if he got mad at her and was all like, "Yo, I bought the shit anyways. I'm pawning it now for the
Who said it?
money."
Who said it was because he could have been mad at it? It could have been he was just broke. Y'all gotta remember he don't make money like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't make money like that. That's why I said, you know what I'm saying? He struck gold with Clarissa. You feel me? Like he struck gold. He struck gold with Remy. Remy was taking care of him. You know what I'm saying? That's why people overlook this shit. That house they was in, that was Remy. You know what I'm saying? Remy paid for everything. So is she such a bad person? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the time, she was the one holding shit down. When she
Well,
came,
she claimed that while she was in prison, she was paying for the apartments that he was living in
is she
that
was.
she's never seen. But Cuban was saying that like there's no way that she was doing that because before she went to prison, she was broke and she was asking him for a loan and asking Cuban for a loan. And Cuban was like, I don't got it, but I can hook you up with a deal. And he tried to get her a deal and she didn't take the deal. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's a long. She went talking some old shit though. That was a long time ago. when she got back, she had it. When she started fucking with Joe again, she started having it.
Right. Then I feel like she did have it, but
That's
she
what
was
I'm saying.
she was talking about when she was locked up, she was paying rent, right? And Cuban's point was like, with what money? Because you were broke at that time.
No, but see, he's not looking at the time frame. He got to look at the time frame with her and Pat though. Don't look at her time frame. You know what I'm saying? When they wasn't living together, you got to look at the time frame when they was living together. They really started making more commitment when she got down with motherfucking Joe. That shit started getting more serious. You feel me? And they started motherfucking.
What do you mean when she got out of prison?
Nah, when she was in prison too. You feel me? Like towards the
Yeah, but
end. Towards the end.
Papoose and her were together even before she went to prison, though.
I know that, but I'm talking about the seriousness when they started getting more serious and getting engaged and doing a marriage and all that shit. You feel me? That shit started getting talked about later in life when she got pregnant. You feel me? Like you got to look at time frames. You can't look at, you know what I'm saying, when certain things wasn't evolving yet. You know what I'm saying? Like she always had the money there in the relationship. Even if you go back, she always had the money. She doing shows and
But
everything.
I guess Cuban's point was like, while she was locked up, how was she making any money? Because Joe was still mad at her for
Yeah,
dissing
but
him and everything like
the
that.
same
He
way,
was in
the
charge of
same
that
way
album,
Q,
the only album she had.
the same way Q was still making money doing shows. You think Remy wasn't doing the same?
No,
Like,
we're
come
talking
on.
about when she's locked up. When she was locked up during that time, she
Right.
said that she was paying for Papooses rent. So how was she paying for his rent with what money if she was locked up, not making any money? That's what he's saying.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't
All
know.
right, but
I I
Papoose
I, I
said,
know I know for sure she was the breadwinner there though. I know that for sure, and she was taking care
I
of that
believe that
nigga
she
for
was
a
the
while.
breadwinner when she got out of prison. When she's the real reason why they got that love and hip hop
All
deal and
right, let's
everything like
let's
that.
let's 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 put it like this. It's hard to believe at any time that Pat was holding that relationship down financially. It's hard to fucking believe. Just me being a label mate and me knowing that he wasn't, come on, it's hard to believe that he was holding that shit financially down. Why nobody talk
Yo, but
about
he
that?
had that money, that $1.5 million deal with Jive,
Man,
right?
that shit got wasted in less than the first year. Fuck is y'all talking about? Come on, my nigga.
For
1.5,
real?
my nigga, 1.5, he broke bread with Buster. He broke bread with the management. Bro, that nigga probably still with 400 grand, my nigga.
Right.
I
You're
know
right.
that
You're
for a
right.
fact, my nigga. I know that for a
After
fact.
taxes and everything.
Nigga, I
Yeah.
was street sweeper, nigga. I was street sweeper. That's why he was jealous towards me, because fucking Slay was trying to get me a fucking $3-4 million deal. Cause I was the newest fucking artist. And he was like, I got one. Slay says it on records. Slay says it right on my album. He said, we got 1.5 out the motherfucking game with Papoose. And now we gonna get more with Big Lou. He says it straight on my album. And he says, so motherfucking labels get their textbooks ready. That's why when these motherfuckers was like, yo, we give you 2 million for Lou, he was like, no, you gotta go higher. And we was bitten. That's why I did the mixtape called The Bid Starts at $1 million. You feel me?
Right.
Because he started my bid at $1 million and that shit worked his way up to like 3-4 million like overnight. And the motherfucker is getting jealous because he like, damn, this motherfucker fuck around and sign more than me. You feel me? So come on, man. Like, proof is there, my nigga. Like, and that's just facts. Ain't no cap. You know what I mean? So that 1.5 though, that shit came from Bus though. Bus got him that deal. So talk about that too. You know what I'm saying? Bus got him that deal, and he had to break bread with Bus, Slay, management, road management. Come on, man. That nigga still put motherfucking a lollipop in some envelopes.
Papoose said that K Slay warned him about Remy. Do you think that's true?
Nigga, he said the same shit about me, nigga. They said it in reverse. Yeah, you know what I mean? Pat warned me about Big Lou. Come on, man. It's a fucking game, bro. Like, when somebody is wrong, they wrong, bro. I'm not saying Remy is right, because Remy, Remy just, you know what it was with Remy? Remy just like fucking. You feel me? And Remy got tired of the same dick. You feel me? She didn't want a Vienna sausage no more. She wanted a motherfucking kielbasa. And she thought she was gonna get a kielbasa and went to the corny
Oh
nigga.
my god, man.
And
Come
the
on,
corny
Lou.
nigga didn't get him. Nah, I'm just fucking with y'all. But nah, but I ain't fucking with y'all either. It's true. Remy Remy wanted something different. But at the same time, she wanted something different because she was tired of him already. She said it. She said it a lot of times, yo. You know what I mean? But she strung him along. That's what I didn't like about she was a fucking whore. She strung him along. Don't string him along. Get him married. That's where I'll give it to him at. So I blame both of them motherfuckers. They both wrong. Fuck them both. Both of them niggas is fucking toxic.
Do you believe that Papoose wrote 90% of her rhymes since they met?
Man, Remy been nasty, bro. That I don't believe. Remy been nasty. Did he help her? Yeah, I believe he helped her. I believe he you know what I'm
But
saying?
not
He gave her
90%.
fuck no, man. Remy been nasty. Everybody know that.
Right.
Come on, man. Remy album was dope. You know what I'm saying?
But they
She
were already together at that time that she did the album, though,
so
right?
so she wrote that. He wrote that.
No, I'm not saying he wrote the whole thing, but
Come on,
was he
man.
helping her with that?
Hell no. Hell no. Come on, man. That shit is crazy, man. Like, come on, Remy been dope, bro. You know what I mean? Since this nigga found her, she been dope. Like, I don't know.
I'm not saying that she's not dope, but don't you think that most people would say that Papoose is a different tier lyricist, though?
And what made you think that Remy's Remy shit wasn't fucking crazy, crazy, crazy? So if it wasn't crazy, 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 that what kind of tier is he? It was dope. It was dope songs that she made, but it wasn't like fucking mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? She had like two or three joints that went over that was dope.
Right.
The nigga he's trying to get money, bro. He needs money. So to me, he's doing that to make money. He gotta make money. He gotta stay afloat. He gotta play the game. You gotta play the game, my nigga. Like, come on, man. That's
Well, people
bullshit.
were saying though that they believe that he wrote "Sheether" for her to go at Nicki Minaj.
He probably gave her some lines.
Mm.
He probably gave her some lines. Remy always stood sharp to me. I don't know. She always stood sharp. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to discredit that woman from nothing she do because, you know what I mean? You got to look at it like this too. It's like discrediting women from how good women really is that can spit. Some of these women that spit, they rap better than niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On some real shit. You feel me? So I'm not going to discredit her.
Well,
Like,
she was battle tested too. Remember when she did?
hell yeah, yo. Remy nice. Remy nice to me. The shit that, when she was in bad terms with Joe, the shit that she did with Cuban towards Fat Joe, that shit was kind of better. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't with Papoose then. He wasn't writing that. Did he write that?
They were together at that time.
Well, yeah, he might have wrote it because that's when he got snuck.
Come on, man. You bringing up the worst stuff.
Bro, I'm just speaking facts, bro. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's when remember when fucking Uncle Murder
Lou,
people hooked him like when he
I
did the
know you,
stripper movie.
Lou. Okay, Lou, I know you. I know
Nah,
when you
you
doing something.
crazy,
Okay,
yo, you crazy,
I know
bro.
when you doing
No, I'm
something.
not trying to do nothing. I'm stating facts. That was at the time he got snuck, right?
Right,
By Fat Joe.
right.
So you think he wrote the lyrics because Joe snuck him?
I don't know, man.
And then told Remy, and that's why Remy had that anger and she spitted that shit. That was when they did that. I can feel it. Right?
Right.
That
Mhm.
was that shit, right? Yeah, she killed that John. She did good off. She did good off that. I don't think that was Pat. I don't know, man. They giving too much credit to Pat. And Pap's a dope lyricist. To me, he was always a dope lyricist, but he's not motherfucking. He's not one of these motherfuckers that he's like one track joint. You feel me? He's not a hit
That's
maker.
what Cuban was saying, was that he feels like he didn't switch up his flow enough.
Yeah, he's not a
For
hit
me,
maker.
it was more of the cadence. I felt like his cadence was just,
Exactly.
you know.
That's why I did that shit on the joint. Listen up, you fat face. Just you better move out the country. That's his style. You feel me? That's how he rap on everything. Even when he in the car. Sometimes it get belligerent and not just be a citizen. And then just the same shit all the time.
Did you ever meet anyone else from Bang Bang Boogie besides Cuban, of course?
Mysonne. Mysonne. I was cool with Mysonne at one point, man. You know, we got a couple records, you know what I mean? And I guess I guess once the whole slave situation, you know, I had got with him one day and called him and told him to jump on a record that I was doing, and he was like, he said, Lou, you know, I hope you understand. I gotta eat. You feel me? You know, I'm charging now. I'm charging like 4 racks. I said, what, nigga? I said 4. I said, this nigga's crazy. I said, I never paid for a feature in my life and got bigger names than him. And it's not discrediting him and what he did, but me and him did records before where it was not, you wouldn't even fucking dare say, yo, I'ma charge you for something. And I just thought it was lame as hell. You feel me? Me and you supposed to be on a better, you know what I mean? So I said, you know what? I laughed when he said it. I said, listen, bro, I can dig it. I said, I understand what's going on here. He said, nah, Lou, I don't want you to feel like that, bro. This and that. And I said, yeah, I understand what's going on here. I said, it's cool, my nigga. I said, listen, just do you. Don't worry about it. And I left it at that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I felt like he was lame as hell for doing that shit. You feel me? Lame as hell. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't wish nothing bad towards that man. He doing what he doing. God bless him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a bigger man, because somebody else did that same shit to me, and he apologized to me, and that was Fred the God. May Fred the God rest in peace. And Fred the God, you know, he was like, yo, I just didn't want to get in the shit with you and Slay. But, you know, honestly, you know, I should have just, you know, yo, I was fucking with you from day one. You know what I'm saying? When I took 6 Underground Music Awards and he was there. He took 2 of them shits and I took 6 of them. So that speaks mountains of my resume. You feel me? Some of these niggas couldn't even do what I was doing in their territory. And that was in New York. I won all them awards. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking their awards, winning more shit than them. Best lyricist, um, artist of the year, all kind of shit. I got the shit on tape. I got fucking receipts. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Fred the God showed class, came, apologized to me because I brought him to Camden. I brought him to Camden with Cuban. I brought Cuban, and he had a talk with me, and he said, damn, bro, he said, with all that, you still bring me to Camden. I owe you an apology. You know what I mean? I said, for what? He was like, nah, because I was ready to charge you and shit, you know, because of the whole shit with the slave situation. You know, they telling me, yo, you know, charge me or whatever. You feel me? The case may be. And, you know, it took a real man to do that. You know what I mean? And I always had love for Fred the God because of that. You know what I mean? And we just, you know, we just kept on building from there. And That was it. You know what I mean? But my son, I felt as though, if that was the same reason because of the slave situation, you know what I mean? Like that shit was just lame because, we was just starting to get to know each other. You did a couple tracks that we was already vibing on. He was on the Goya product with a twist of soul food. You feel me? And I was in with Slay at that time, but I don't think he knew. And then when the Slay shit started getting more serious, I think, he started playing sides, which is all cool, but say that. Just say that. If he would have came and said, look, man, I'll fuck with Slay, boom, 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 then I'm like, good. All right, cool. I understand that. But don't make it about something else and make it look like you gotta eat and now you charging. Fuck out of here, man. That shit was corny as hell. You charging 4 stacks, I'm charging 10. Fuck out of here. Shit's
All
crazy.
right. Well, what do you think about all the drama that has happened with the group recently?
I mean,
You never met Hocus? You never met Hocus or S1 or
nah,
Lord Tariq?
nah, nah. I mean, I think it's sad because I think that would have been dope to have a reunion with them niggas. Cause when that shit first came out, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. The whole Bang Bang Boogie, the whole movement, that shit was real dope. And I think they should have just, what I mean, seen more eye to eye, and what I mean, stop seeing who motherfucking, dick is the biggest and shit. And and just motherfucking like, get together and like brothers. It's funny when they be, oh, that's my brother, that's my y'all motherfuckers don't mean that shit. Cause brothers will really come to the forefront and fix shit. You feel me? You know, all that shit, I don't know, man. It's just so fake, you know what I mean, to me. And it makes some of them look fake. Like, I don't know Hocus like that. You know what I'm saying? Seemed like a cool dude, you know what I mean? But I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, just the whole Joe shit, I don't know. I just don't feel that shit. I don't feel that shit, you know what I mean? Especially with a history that Cuban got with him. I just feel like, mind your business type shit. You know what I mean? That's dumb. Let Cube do whatever he want. You know what I mean? If Cube want to talk about motherfucking Fat Joe for 20 more years, let him do it. You know what I'm saying? And if he drown in his own misery, he drown in his own misery. Cube, Cube is gonna do what Cube do. You feel me? And in a weird way, I can understand, but then in a weird way, I don't get it. Because the difference with me and Cube is that Joe, uh, listen, not trying to incriminate myself, but a motherfucker cut me, my nigga. We, you ain't never gonna see me do another interview on life again, cause unless it's in San Quentin or some shit, nigga. Like, cause I'm murdering that motherfucker. You feel me? Like a nigga cut me is it's a rap. You know what I mean? But just if if Joe is apologizing sincere about the cut, then if if Q feel like it's sincere, then he let it go. If he don't feel like it's sincere, let him do what he want to then. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel as though nobody got the right to step in and say, you know what I'm saying? Like what a man that got cut should fit, what he feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's where
So
I
you're
feel
saying that like you're not saying Hocus shouldn't have made up with Joe or something like that. You're just saying if Cuban just let Cuban do what he do and mind your business,
that's
basically.
it. That's it. That's it, man. We all men at the end of the day, man. Like, you feel me? Like, niggas need to mind their business, you know what I mean? And just do what they do, you know what I mean? The same way, and that shit goes for Q too, though. You know what I mean? It go both ways. So, you know what I mean? Q don't get no card because that's my boy. You feel me? Like, it's just being real with each other. You know what I mean? Like, yo, don't be getting that Hocus, you know what I mean? Because he's cool with this nigga now. You feel me? As a man, you know how to play that then. You feel me? You got to know how to play that. The same way with Hocus, you know what I mean? That he ain't got no reason to get in that. You just got to know how to play that. That's it. Come on, man. We grown men. We ain't stupid. We know how to handle that shit.
All right, well, let's talk about the fight, right? In my new interview with Cuban, he said that Hocus catching that Rico is affecting their fight now because the venue that was supposed to host it pulled out. And there's no other venue in New York that can do it or that is willing to do it. So they're exploring options outside of the state now, which is whack because like the whole name Rumble in the Bronx was so dope, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And now it's like, it's fucked up.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
You sure no they just don't want to rumble no more?
No, that's what Cuban told me. He told me that Lehman College was supposed to host it, and next thing you know, now they're not doing it anymore because of the RICO. So they're trying to find a different place.
Because of the Rico charge with Hocus.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough because I mean, that would have been nice though. That would have been nice to see that. Even though I had my money on Q, not nothing towards motherfucking George Foreman Jr., but motherfucking motherfucking I had my
Oh,
money
come
on
on, man.
no, nah, I had my money on Cube only because motherfucking if if Hocus got Fat Joe next to him, you see what happens, nigga. You saw what happened to the Yankees. You saw what happened to everybody, nigga. Oh, he taking the L. You got Fat Joe next to you. Boom, knockout. Oh, he going to sleep. That nigga is over. Nah, Hocus, you gotta get Joe away from you, dog. That's a bad luck charm.
What do you think about people saying that they were concerned when it was going to be in the Bronx and everything that like Terror Squad or other people that Cuban has had issues with would show up and it would like spill out side of the fight that, you know, maybe it was a setup for Q?
I mean, I don't think so. I just think you just gotta be prepared for the bullshit. You know, if niggas is gonna do something, you know what I mean, they gonna do it. But I don't think so. I think that it would have just been dope. You know what I'm saying? I don't think no parties on either side would have been on no bullshit. I think it would have just been exciting to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
well,
the
I don't think that Hocus side would do anything to set him up or anything like that,
Nah, I don't
you know,
see
but
Hocus. Hocus don't look like the type that's gonna be on no grimy shit like that. I don't know.
no, I don't think so either. But I'm saying though, like people that are coming to the fight, they come in for maybe more than just to see Cuban lose, like hoping to see Cuban lose. You know what I mean? Like he come outside of the venue, somebody might do something. You know?
Man, I don't know, man. I guess I'm just so street. I don't worry about shit like that. If you know you got your people's there, I know my people's gonna be there. I know my people good. I know
Well, he was gonna go by himself. That's what he said. He said he was not gonna have anybody there with him. He said, "I'm coming with God. That's it."
who said that.
Cuban said that.
Yeah, but Cuban ain't stupid. Knows that he got people that love him that's gonna be there for him.
That's true.
At the end of the day, he talk all that shit, man. Q know what he doing. He know he got people that's going motherfucking that. He got that's a shit talking motherfucker, yo. I know my brother to the core, like, but he know he got good motherfuckers that will be there that ain't gonna let shit happen to him. And that's it. So ain't nothing slow about him.
All right. What about S1 and Mysonne? Cuban and I were saying that S1 and Mysonne should be the undercard for the fight.
That'll be nice. That'll be good. That'll be good. I don't know. I like that's Hocus' brother, right?
Yeah, S1.
Yeah, S1. I fuck with S1. I think he makes a lot of good valid points about certain shit. You know what I mean? And I ain't got no hate towards motherfucking my son. That even though with that lame shit he did, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna judge Mysonne by that tape, but
Oh, you
because
saw the
I
tape?
well, with him fighting the white boy,
Yeah.
motherfucking Grizzly Adams, motherfucker. Grizzly Adams put the pause on that. Grizzly
Well, Cuban
Adams.
was saying though, like that, or was it my son that said it, that the dude grabbed his nuts or something like that. That's why he was on the floor like that.
Mm, yeah, but the technique still looked this suspect. I don't know, man. The
The way
fighting
that you
technique,
paused and got all
the fighting
serious.
technique. I'm a fighter, man. I come from a line of, if you know, my brother is Alexander Medina. You know what I mean? Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Look him up. Like, we come from a line of fighters. So, you know, if you know technique fighting, you know that, I don't know what was that, yo. That wasn't even Nutsu Cow. That shit wasn't even
Natsu
fucking no.
cow.
That shit wasn't even blood
Natsu
sport.
cow.
Nutsu
Natsu
Cow.
cow.
Nutsu Cow. That shit wasn't even blood sport, nigga. Yo, that
No,
shit was.
no,
Yo,
no, that
what
was
the fuck?
kickboxer when they
Oh,
did that.
kickboxing, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
kickboxing and
No,
shit.
remember, what you call it? He's like, tell me.
Yo, man. Yeah. What the fuck?
So the Nutsu cow, and that boy was grabbing
Nutsu
my
Cow.
son's nuts like wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he was squeezing the shit out of them. Pause.
Wowzers. He said he was squeezing
That's
the
the kind of
shit
look
out
that
of him.
my son looked like he had. He's like, wowzers. that was an extremely strong grab.
He like, this white boy fucking me up.
Yo,
This white boy beating the marbles on my
this
ass.
white boy be using those grapple things to make his grip stronger. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? The exercise thing.
Yeah. Say, this white boy beating the marbles out my ass.
No, but you know what they say though, right? They say that like the best like thing is to hit people with something they don't expect when you do in a fight. Like you kick them in the shin, you kick them in the knee or something like that. Like people are just thinking most of the time you go and grab them or like punch them or something like that, but you hit them with that. I don't know. I never heard about grabbing somebody's nuts though, but like that's maybe a girl could do that, but that's kind of crazy though. Right. Yo, all those people around them, I'm surprised they didn't start screaming that Nutsu cow, Nutsu cow. You know what I'm saying?
My son, get up, nigga. You letting the white boy fuck you up.
That shit was crazy though, man.
That shit was funny as I thought motherfucking mice was nice with their hands. I said, what the fuck?
Well, you've been watching the interviews, right? With like all the other members of Bang Bang Boogie, they were saying like S1 and AWOL and stuff, and they were saying that yo, like he can't really fight like that.
I mean, you know what? I could believe that shit because there's a lot of motherfuckers that they act like they could fight. You feel me? And you know what I mean? You look at the demeanor or whatever, and if you come from the streets, you know better than that. You know that the biggest motherfucker that act tough be the hardest motherfucker to fall. So, you know, to me, I always
Do you think my son really gives that you know that vibe though? That he really act like big and bad like that though?
before he did.
Before he did,
Before I
okay.
think before he used to be on that, yeah, I'll fuck niggas up and all that type of shit. When he was out there giving that energy before he became motherfucking,
The activist.
you know, quote unquote, the activist might sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because some of those older
And you know,
videos when he's talking like in the hallway and stuff like that, like he really kind of got that
yeah,
vibe more, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but you can see why he became an activist. Shit. If I fought like that, I'll become an activist too. Fuck that.
Come on, man. Come on, man. All right. All
I'll
right.
fight with words.
Yo,
I'll fight with words.
you
Nah,
gonna
say
get
no,
you gonna
fuck
get
this.
me in trouble now. Okay, all right.
I'll fight with words.
What do you think of Fat Joe cheering on Hocus 4/5 in the comments, saying like, you know, oh, I've been there before. Trust me, it's too easy when he's talking about like beating up Cuban Link and stuff. Like we never hear Joe talk about Cuban ever, but it seems like he really got invested in this whole fight, and he was like showing so much support to Hocus in the comments and like commenting on Cuban a lot.
Shit, he gonna cheer for anybody that's against Q. He's gonna cheer for him. He just don't like he don't like Link at all. So he gonna cheer for motherfucking Hocus like he cheered for that young girl when she thought 3 inches was 10.
Oh my god. Come on, man. Come on, man. No, come on, man.
You told me give my opinion. I'm giving you a good opinion, like, you know what I mean? That's how you gonna cheer for him.
No, but what I was saying though, I was like, okay, like, because Hocus was saying, yo, this guy been kicking Joe's back in for like 20 something years. Of course, he gonna want to cheer, against him and feel a type of way, right? But my thing was more of
Right.
like, people been saying that you owed Cuban a fair one for a long time. So the fact that you now cheering on someone else to fight Cuban, it just looks weird from the optic standpoint of like I can understand behind the scenes if you like, yeah, like telling Hocus like, yeah, man, get him and stuff like that. But to publicly write it out and say it for everyone to read, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe is not gonna fight. Joe's another one that talk all that shit. The same way he fabricated stories. You could tell Joe, come on, man. Like, and I ain't saying this because he knock kneed or nothing like that, because everybody know Fat Joe is not like he knock kneed as a motherfucker and shit. But he got chicken legs. That's one. Niggas with chicken legs, just the way he walk and shit like that, like you could tell, like, come on, man. Like, I'm not saying that niggas with knock knees and none can't fight. You know what I mean? Because I know some motherfuckers that's damn near handicapped that can throw their hands. You feel me? But he's all talk. You feel me? You could tell
Yo, Lou,
niggas
you
that,
still there?
yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I was talking. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know what
What the
happened.
fuck happened? What-
All right, no, but you were saying
He's
that people with chicken legs.
nah. Nah, he got the chicken legs, he knock knee, he talks a lot, but not saying that people with like chicken legs and can't fight, because I know motherfuckers that's damn near handicapped that can fight. But you could tell that he just talk a lot. He his bark is louder than his bite. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that's like that. I don't think he want to fight Cube. I think he's actually scared of Cube.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But the money is gonna make him the toughest motherfucker ever. And the people that's the type that, like, they see him winning and they see Q, not getting the shine that Joe is, the ass kisses is gonna go for Joe. You feel me? The motherfuckers that suck dick, they're gonna go for Joe. So Joe can't do nothing wrong in their eyes. You know what I mean? The same way, he jumped off the Empire State Building like Donkey Kong, landed on his feet with some backflips and everything. Like, yo, he can't do nothing wrong.
Why do you think that
So,
is though? It's not just Joe, but it's usually the person with the bigger name is like the more quote
right,
unquote believable one, right? Like whenever anything comes out, they're
right,
like, yo, no, that can't be possible. We're talking about so and so. They got a big following. They got this fan base. There's no
yeah,
way. Like, like just because somebody
yeah,
has a big following or is talented doesn't mean they're like without fault. I don't get how people are brainwashed into believing that though.
yeah. What people is, you know what I mean? He's just, it's just, it just goes to show how, like, the media just takes sides on things, you know what I mean? Like, Joe never said nothing to Q. All the times he made strong points about this man. And all of a sudden, Hocus, becomes baby George Foreman Jr. and without and mother and Q becomes motherfucking, Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
And they throwing the Bronx grudge match or whatever it is. And now Joe wanna say something. Now he wanna I got my money on Hocus, boy. There's gonna be a lot of sad motherfuckers losing, boy, because you know anybody that Joe go for, they lose.
Oh
Forget
yeah.
that. Yeah, so Hocus might get knocked to the motherfucking to Saturn somewhere, because
Well, you think Joe would
Hocus,
come out, and perform at the match in the ring? Now lean back, lean back.
yeah,
Put your arms,
imagine that.
put your
I want
fist
to see
all the
that.
way up, all the way
Yo,
up.
yo, that's what I'm saying. Like Hocus is like so friendly with Joe now. Tell him to come out. Tell him to bring you out to the ring. Let's see if he's your friend. Let's see if he do you that solid. Tell him to bring you out to the ring. You know what I mean? Hocus, if he's really your boy like that. And I bet you he won't walk you to the ring.
I heard
And
that
if he do walk you to the ring, that's good. But then you get knocked the fuck out because you know he's gonna jinx your ass.
Hocus was saying that he feels like Joe is doing it. I think it was Hocus, but somebody, pretty sure it was Hocus, said that like Joe is like commenting to get inside Cuban's head, basically. Like, yeah, I don't normally talk about you, but now I'm gonna do this like before the fight.
Come on. They act like it's Mayweather. These niggas ain't Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard. These niggas ain't that. These niggas is motherfucking, fucking Glass Joe and motherfucking the nigga from the Mike Tyson. Do. Come on, man. They not professional fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe ain't trying to do all that. Joe just he's doing the ass kissing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody that's against Q, he rocks with. You feel me? If you against Q, he gonna rock with you. And it's just corny. You know what I'm saying? He should put on his motherfucking boxing trunks and fight Q. That's what people want to see.
That's what a lot of
People
people
want
been
to see,
saying though. They were saying
yeah,
like, yo, like we really want to see Joe and Cuban go at it, and then like maybe then they can somehow find a resolution after that, after getting that aggression out. But I mean, I still highly doubt it, but at least it would be something for
yeah,
the fans to feel a little bit better about, you know.
yeah. People want to see the pretty Cuban power puncher against the motherfucking Irish Boricua. You know what I mean? They want to see
Bro,
that.
don't come
They
on,
don't
man.
want to see that.
No, don't be saying that. Come on, man. No.
Don't say what?
No, man. Come on,
No,
man.
that's their boxing names. I'm saying like the boxing names. But anyway, people want to see that.
All right, man. So oh, you wild, man. You crazy. Yo.
So you crazy.
So you and Benzino had got into it not too long ago, right?
Oh,
What happened exactly? But shout out to Zeno. I know a lot of people don't like him, okay? But I don't know why. I feel like
I like, I like the Benzino. I was rooting for that old Muppet looking motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? I liked him, but then he got disrespectful.
okay, wait. But before that, right? Let me ask you: did you like him honestly, like before, like with his contributions through the Source magazine and everything like that? Did you think he was decent?
I never thought he was like a good artist or nothing like that. Like, I never looked at him like a good artist. Like, I knew he was to me, he was always corny. Like to me, he was a corny motherfucker. But
As an
but
artist
I
or
like what
overall?
as an artist, he was a corny motherfucker. As an artist, he can't rap for shit. Like, you know what I mean? Shit. And they can't rap for shit to save his life.
Like rock the
For a
party?
motherfucker.
We gonna rock the party, breaks the party.
Ha ho, here I go. Melly Mel days.
Come on, rock the party did pretty good on the charts, didn't it?
Did you like that shit? You really like that shit? Did you really like that shit? If you really like that song, yo, you is fucked up. You fucked up. You know you didn't like that shit. So I don't give a fuck about the charts and none of that shit. Did you like the song?
I don't really remember when it came out. I don't really remember.
How the fuck you say it, talk about it, and you don't remember?
I heard it after the fact, like after his Eminem beef. Really, I listened to it and I was like, I can see how this was really big, like back in the early 2000s. You know what I mean? So I
And
appreciated it for that fact.
and it didn't give you an ear infection.
Come on, Lou. Come on, man.
Man, that shit was the worst shit ever. Like he never was a good artist. And that's not me because I dislike him. And everybody know Benzino was not a good artist. You know what I'm saying? Not a good artist. You know what I mean? And then he tried to make the comeback and thought he was D'Angelo. He forgot he was a rapper. Like the nigga thought he was D'Angelo with the motherfucker. I said, what the fuck is this nigga
All
doing?
right, all right.
Like,
Oh,
and he's 60. You can't do that at
all
60.
right, wait. Lou,
You know
Lou,
what I
Lou.
mean? Just because he thought because he keeps his physique right, nobody want to see that shit.
Lou. Okay. That aside, the artist aside part, right? Did you like him? Like, did you feel like he was a real dude in the streets and stuff like that? Or like you appreciated what he did with the Source magazine?
I hate that motherfuckers get money and associate themselves with the streets, and all of a sudden they are real street dude. 90% of these motherfuckers from back in the day till now ain't as real as you think they are. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'd rather give more props to the younger generation that's in the streets, that's really about that life, than some of the older ones on some real shit. Because some of them ones really got down. There's only a chosen few from back then that really lived that street life. You know what I mean? The rest of them niggas was like my nigga Chris Rock, CB4 niggas. They was motherfucking Justo and them niggas. You know what I mean? Straight out of low cash, a crazy motherfucker named Dead Mike. That's what the fuck they was for real. A lot of these rappers they ain't really like that, man. They not. And this is me speaking facts. They wasn't like that.
No, but people say
But
that Benzino definitely had history in the streets in Boston. Like he was real with him and Made Men and RSO and everything.
that's like saying Takashi 6ix9ine made all that money and got himself hooked up. You know what I'm saying? With some real gangsters, and then you know what I mean, use that gangster shit to his fullest. The only thing, you know what I mean, he just you could tell he wasn't that. You feel me? And that's kind of how I saw Benzino. Not as bad as Takashi, but I never looked at him like a street nigga. I looked at him like a businessman at the time. I looked at him like he had the Source magazine. To me, it was dope. The magazine shit was dope. On that, I give him the credit. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean, if he would have stood on that, like, you know, just doing a magazine shit and not, going further and trying to, bring a rap career that was senseless. You know what I mean? At that time, he's judging, doing the 5 mics and everything, and people loved it, that shit. You feel me? They loved it, the whole thing that he did with that, and plus he was giving upcoming artists, a platform in that magazine too. You know what I mean? So he was doing little things, you know what I mean, that made him look credible in a lot of ways. But as soon as he started fucking with the white boy, he should have just left Eminem alone. You know what I'm saying? That destroyed his career. And it was just like a downhill spiral from there. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought he was the type of motherfucker that was living beyond his means. You know what I'm saying? He thought that rap money was gonna last forever. Man, you got saved for a rainy day, man. And he was making mistakes that a lot of young motherfuckers make. But he was making it at an old age. So what that say about his business model for real? You know what I mean? Like he made a lot of bad business decisions, and he had a lot of people that put money into his shit that he fucked over and did bad business moves with, and that's why he's in the situation he is now.
Well, he said that the actual reason for the Source going down was because of they invested too early on in the source.com and they took out this big loan, and that was actually Dave's idea to do that. But because he was his partner, he supported him. But he said that was the ultimate downfall of why they messed up.
It sounds like Benzino not taking accountability for what he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Benzino fuck that magazine up. Come on, man. He was trying to do shit his way, the same way he tries to do now. You know what I'm saying? And shit just don't work. You know what I mean? It just don't work. It's all right to try and reinvent yourself and shit like that. But it's like when he tried to reinvent himself in the rap. The motherfucker came back as D'Angelo. Like, it was just a bad move. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to come back. If you're gonna reinvent yourself the right way. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know what I mean, you hear the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? But in his case, he needed to remanufacture that whole shit. You know what I mean? Because his whole career is wild. You feel me? So I don't know, man. Benzino is just a character, man. He did a lot of shit that was fucked up. You know what I mean? He made a lot of bad moves. At one point, he was well respected for starting something that could have been timeless even till now in today's world.
Well, let me ask you though, what did you think about that podcast that he was on where he got really mad because the guy said to him like, "Yo, I'm pissed at you because like you fucked up the source or like you fumbled the source and things like that." Did you watch that?
Is that what that's what Adam?
No, no, no. It was the two white boys
Nah.
from Massachusetts that he was going off on with the big dookie chain on and shit like that.
One of them was Adam, right? The one with Adam.
Nah, nah. You talking about Adam 22, right?
Yeah,
No,
that's
no, no.
the
It's not
interview
Adam
with Adam.
22. This is like a smaller podcast.
Oh, okay, okay. I think did I see that he act like he was gonna fight with the boy or some shit?
Yeah, I mean, like he got real mad and like was like screaming at him. They had to turn off the podcast basically.
That's the one where he's standing up and he had the little fist.
Come on, Lou. Come on. He was saying that like he got mad because he was saying that you could never be more hip hop than me.
I ain't see that. I
You
ain't
didn't
see
see
that.
that one? All right.
I don't think I saw it. I saw the one with Adam where I think he was about to fight Adam, right?
Nah, man, that's never happened with Adam 22.
Who was it? Nah, I don't know. I saw some bullshit. I don't know where he was about to fight. I know it was a white boy, and he was about to fight with the white boy, and he was like, "Nigga, you ain't gonna do that." And he got up, and you know what I mean. And then somebody that was there actually like scared the shit out of him. They're like they pulled
Oh
out a
no, no, no.
ratchet
You
or
talking
something.
about the other one that I was gonna tell you about, but that one was the snitching one. The one about the
Okay.
snitching allegations.
Oh,
Right? Where they went
all
off
right, yeah.
camera, where they
That's
went off
yeah,
camera and
that's
you
the one
heard,
I
yeah,
saw.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that next though. So
Okay,
um the podcast where he walks off and during the time that he's there, they're addressing the snitching allegations on his nephew. What
right.
did you think about that? Because I spoke to Benzino and Benzino said that, it wasn't on the stand when he gave the statement to the police after he had got shot. And he gave that statement to them because they said that his nephew had already called them and said, "Hey, I shot my uncle." So he identified himself. Do you consider that to be snitching? Because some people say, well, it wasn't on the stand. And when he was on the stand, he didn't point out his nephew. But then, like, some people believe that any form of cooperation with police, any statement you give to police, that's snitching.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. You still cooperated with the authorities. You know what I mean? So they still gonna get at him. Now they're gonna take it to the stand because you done snitched on them. So it starts in the street and you snitch in the street and then it goes to the stand. So what the fuck? I don't get that.
Well, he said that basically when he was on the stand, if he had pointed out his nephew, he could have got him 15 years or something like that. But because he didn't do that, then that's like the real like test, like the ultimate like thing of
But he
not
got him.
snitching.
So since he ain't doing it on the stand, instead of 15, he got him 10.
No, I think he
Fuck
only
out
got
of here.
like 3 years or if even
Don't
that. I don't
matter.
know.
No time is not good time. No time is good time. You know what I mean? Regardless of what, he told. You feel me? He went and he told. And he know better than that. You know what I'm saying? He come from that era. You know what I mean? But this is why I say, you know what I mean, some of these cats, they show their hand that they wasn't really like that at that time. You feel me? Because of situations like that. you know better. He has no explanation for that. No explanation at all for that. I can't see you trying to say some dumb shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Nah, I didn't put you on the stand. Like, come on, man. That's bullshit.
Did you watch that podcast though when he walked off? You did, right? You said that you heard them
Yeah, I
behind the
saw
scenes, stuff like that.
I think that's the one I saw like brought up or something. I didn't see the whole thing, but that's the one I saw.
Yeah,
That's the
that
one I
one was
saw
pretty
briefly.
crazy. But I know that like he went on that podcast because his old RSO Made Men group mate was on there, and they asked him about the
Okay.
snitching, and he ended up saying that it is snitching.
Okay.
Yeah, so the his former group member did say, I consider that to be snitching. That was wrong what he did, basically.
Also, yeah, yeah, which I agree with him. That is snitching. You know what I mean? That is snitching. You know, any form, whether it's on a stand, like I said, whether it's on a stand, whether you cooperated, that's it.
But let me ask you this: does it matter that much now in 2025? Like those morals and principles, do people like it feels like everybody snitches now? And it's just like a regular
Man,
thing.
listen, you got the most gangster motherfuckers snitching. Man. That shit is cool nowadays. Not for me. You know what I mean? Like, I got, fuck that. I got integrity. I got morals. My thing is that when I came up to me, snitching, snitching was if you see something or whatever, you know what I mean? Or you involved in something, like if I'm selling a bunch of drugs or whatever and I know the consequences and somebody is giving me whatever, I'm not gonna go and take and and turn say, oh, that's his or whatever, because I knew the consequences. You know what I mean? You gotta tell yourself, yo, is you ready to go to jail for life? Or is you ready to kill a motherfucker and go to jail for life to live this type of life? You know what I mean? You gotta tell yourself from the beginning, and a lot of cats don't tell themselves that. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, a lot of these people that go on the street, they don't tell themselves that. They go in there just wanting to make money, just wanting to be something they not. And then when they get in that situation, in that tight situation where they did commit a murder or they did get caught with a bunch of drugs or whatever, that's when the real test comes. That's when you got to ask yourself, damn, am I ready to go in there and do damn their life or do 10 years or 5 years, whatever the case may be, and be a stand up nigga? Or is you going to snitch on everybody because you a bitch nigga just to get out because you wanted to have 15 minutes of fame but couldn't own your shit? You know what I mean? So to me, I don't know, man. I just can't be that type of person, man. Because I always told myself, if I get caught doing dirt or whatever, I'm gonna take the rap, man. And I could got a lot of people in my hood that can vouch where my MO was at. You know what I mean? So I don't know. A lot of cats don't live by that. You know what I mean? Don't live by that no more. It's everybody snitching now, and the shit is cool. Like some of the snitches, yo, they getting praised. Some of the snitches writing books. They doing fucking stories on snitches. You
Well,
know what I
like
mean?
remember Troy
It's
Ave?
crazy.
He was like, "Oh, the streets is a myth," and it was like widely accepted for him to have done what he did.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's these motherfuckers embrace that shit now. Like they they love motherfuckers, and I'm like, damn, that shit is different. Like it's crazy because I never saw no shit like that. Even in my hood, you know what I'm saying? Like in my hood, there was uh, a couple of cats that they did like little like biographies on and shit like that. And they did one on this cat, this bull that snitched on a lot of motherfuckers in the hood. And they on one of these joints, they used one of my songs. Yo, I was so tight for that. Yeah, I had to approach the bull. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, who gave you permission to put my motherfucking song on this shit? And I don't want to talk too much about it because, some
Right.
shit, but shit like that is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I don't want to be associated. Don't put my song on that. You know what I mean? I don't want my song. I don't want to be affiliated with none of that. But fast forward into today's time, that same person, motherfuckers is shooting movies and being cool with a motherfucker that did a whole fucking biopic on a motherfucking on a snitch from the hood. And they don't see nothing wrong with it. Like to them, it's like, nah, but I'm just working with him. It's still cool. You know what I mean? And it's hard to respect other motherfuckers that you used to respect in the past that you looked at as street legends. You feel me? As legends and shit. And then you start really seeing like, damn, is these street legends really what they are? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these street legends ain't really cut out you know, to be what you thought they was. You know what I'm saying? And when they accept shit like that, and I didn't grow up on that, so it's like, it's hard. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. So let's go into what exactly happened with you and Benzino. Like, how did the situation start?
I think he had wrote something on Instagram or something. And in playing for him, me, I play a lot, you know what I'm saying? And he got butt hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like he got butt hurt because I said something like, you know what I mean, yo, don't interview this nigga at the Red Roof or some shit. I forget what it was. I said for you not to interview him. I said, yo, Panda, don't interview this Red Roof sleeping motherfucker, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, in a playing form. And in midget fashion, he came at me with the midget heart. You know what I mean? The midget brave heart. I'll fuck your wife with my 3-inch pillow. I'll make your wife fall in love with my 3 inches. And I said, oh my God. I said, look at this nigga. He disrespected me from the jump, talking that shit about fucking my wife. She don't want that little ass dick, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? And, gonna have to stick your whole body in there, nigga, to make her feel something. But anyway, he wanted to be disrespectful and shit like that. So when I got at him, I said, look, what's up? Let's meet. Let's meet. Fuck that, all that talking. I don't do good with that shit. I said, now you crossing the line. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna see. I know Benzino how he deal with other people. He just gonna talk that shit to make it look for good at the time. You know what I mean? But he's not gonna do nothing. You know what I mean? And that was it. You know what I mean? I ain't paid too much attention to it. It was corny. And then he went back and forth for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm not gonna, keep going back and forth with this little midget Mexican looking motherfucker. Like I said, I'm done.
I said from the beginning that him touching on anything else besides you, pause, like talking about you, that would have been okay. But the fact that he went and talked about your family or something like that was wrong from the beginning. That was a
Right.
low blow. Pause. Right. So
Yeah.
I felt like he shouldn't have done that. But don't you think that you was inviting a fight when you was like saying, don't interview this Red Roof in, but because it's a sensitive topic that people be getting on him about
Right.
already.
I mean, it's sensitive. I guess it was sensitive because it was true. You feel me? Don't you think? Why would you be sensitive? Don't he does that? He does what I did a lot of time. You know what I mean? He invited a lot of people. Like he had that like invitational little slick shit he used to say. Then he do it. So now you fall to pieces because I do that in a playing fashion. So I guess he didn't like it, and I don't give a fuck if he ain't like it. You know what I'm saying? He showed the type of bitch he was. But you know what I mean? To me, I just still think he's entertaining. You know what I mean? I think he should really reconsider, and you know what I mean. You know, he should do like another Source magazine. You know what I'm saying? Like if he strategically like take his time, stop being mad at the world, and just think out of pocket, you know what I'm saying? He could probably do the source to failure, a different
Lou,
magazine.
come on, Lou. Come on, man.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Come
Like
on,
I'm just
man.
saying, like he has the potential to do something like that. Like you can't write a book called The Source to Failure. If he writes a book called The Source to Failure, you don't think people will buy that because you know it's going to be entertaining on how he failed the masses and how he failed and just fell apart and fell on his face? That shit gonna pick him back up. Am I talking crazy? You don't think that'll work if he says, you know what? I am a piece of shit. My daughter don't love me.
Lou, Lou,
I'm never
hold
gonna be
on,
shit.
no.
Yo, and he writes a book called The Source to Failure. That's a double entendre. Listen, and he does that shit and say, you know what I mean? And just puts it
You
all
ain't
out
had to
there.
bring his daughter in it. Come on, Lou. Come on, man. You didn't have to
Oh,
bring his daughter in
his
it.
daughter his daughter at least got talent. At least she got talent. Shout out to my baby too, man. You know what I mean? I fuck with her. She fuck with Big Lou and shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to your daughter, Benzino. She fuck with Big Lou. I fuck with it too. That video with Bus was dope too. So shout
Now
out.
you know you played. Now you know you trying to get at him. Come
What?
on, Lou. All right. Well, you wanted to fight Benzino, right? I spoke to Zeno, and he was a little upset that I was telling people to get word to him that you wanted to fight him in celebrity boxing. He said you're a nobody, and nobody knows you besides the hood smokers and the panda chops, basically. Shout out to hood smokers, by the way. I actually spoke to the boxing guy too, Damon from Celebrity Boxing, and he said that at the time they were focused on getting 50 to box Zeno, and I told him straight up that that's not happening. 50 is not agreeing to any kind of boxing match. There's nothing in it for him besides
And,
like,
and what?
oh,
And what?
that's some
And
street
what the?
respect, basically,
Oh,
that he bit.
right. And not to cut you off. I'm sorry about that. But and what did 50 say? I'm not fighting Benzino. 50. He's a nobody. Ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? You feel what I'm saying? Like, but years ago when I signed with K Slay, they was all on my dick. You feel me? Because they knew I was that nigga coming, killing the game. So he know very well who I am. He know K Slay signed me. He was a dick rider, like he always been his whole life. Always trying to dick ride whatever was hot at the time. So when I was hot at the time, your little friend Benzino, you know what I'm saying, in midget fashion, was fucking rotting Big Lou's dick. So he knows very well who I am, but wanna act like he don't know. Like, no, you're the nobody now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna been destroy your career. You've been a nobody for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Your fucking has been. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter loved me more than you. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man.
Wait,
Stop it.
Lou, have you met Benzino in real life?
Who, Benzino?
Yeah,
Hell no, I ain't met that nigga. I wanted to meet him. If I could slap the shit out of him. Like I would have beat the marbles out his ass. Just for the disrespect of going, you know what I'm saying? Listen, if you want to talk about me, I got thick skin. You know what I'm saying? I survived in this game. Thick skin. But don't bring none of my family in this shit. You know what I mean? And he crossed the line bringing my family in it.
so is
So
that the
I
reason
can't fuck
why
with a
you're
nigga.
talking about his daughter now? Like, would you have not
No,
crossed that boundary before?
I'm not talking about his daughter. I like his daughter. She's the only talent of the Benzino blood left. Like he never had no talent. And him knowing that he never had no talent, you jealous of your fucking daughter, but you want to fucking ask her for money because you failed and you want to try and kickstart your career. That's no career. You need to just do a podcast. He can make money podcasting and shit like that, but he don't know how to stay with one joint. You should have stuck with Vlad or something. Make a couple dollars or something.
Well, they were
Do
supposed to do
something.
a podcast on Vlad, but then I don't know. He started having issues with Vlad again. I don't know what happened exactly.
Exactly because he burned bridges wherever he go. That's Benzino form. That's that midget form. You know what I mean? He burned bridges wherever he go. You know what I mean? But like I said, I want to talk about his daughter. His daughter is talented. I fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I know she fuck with me. So it's like, the
How you know
video
that?
with Bus. I know she fuck with me, bro. Slid in the DMs.
No, you didn't. Come on, man. Stop. Stop. You really trying to get him angry now. Come on, Lou. Nah,
He
nah,
been
man.
angry because he ain't get invited to the wedding. He
No,
didn't
that
get
was the baby
invited to the
shower.
wedding. But baby, he didn't. He's not even a grandpapa.
Lou, come on, man. No, this is going a little too much, man. It's going a little too far now. But
Fuck that nigga.
I would have liked to see you guys in the ring, though. I think that would have been a good matchup.
That would have not been a good matchup. Because you know why? Because I would have. Listen,
Well, you seen that he was already on celebrity boxing, though. I mean, he got
I saw him.
experience.
He ain't got no damn experience. He pushed the white boy to the floor. That shit was fixed. He pushed him. He fell on. He down there fell on top of him. His weak ass legs. He was walking into the middle of the motherfucking like he had a cane. I said, this nigga. I never seen nobody walk like they was having a cane and didn't have a cane. It was like the boxing gloves was too heavy. He was motherfucking trying to keep him up and shit. Then when the
Lou,
boy came up to him, he swung and fell
Lou,
on
come
top of
on,
it.
man.
Come on, man. The nigga looked like an old man fighting. That nigga, you can tell he can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, he talk all that shit. Oh, you fat, you out of shape. And I bet you this fat motherfucker is gonna knock your fucking ass out in like 2.2 seconds. I fought my whole life. I'm a fighter. I know how to fight, nigga. So you could tell he just can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't nobody, come on, man. Benzino is a fucking clown. He's not gonna that's why he didn't want to fight. I was the one that wanted to fight him. I said, let's fight. Let's fight. Then we could be friends.
Well, all right, moving on, man. So you recently spoke about changing your name from Big Lou to C.M.D. Why the name change though? Like, don't you think that that's going to confuse the fans that may not see this interview or don't follow social media? Like, your name is your brand.
Nah, I'm not gonna change it completely. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it more to show love to my city. You know what I'm saying? I always wore Camden on my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I go or anybody, if you mention Camden, you mention Big Lou. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I brought to the table.
They
And Camden
synonymous.
is is inevitable, man. Listen, I did so much for the city of Camden that is unmatched, is untouched. The legacy that I built for myself, for my city, and what I'm still building. I just want to talk about it, and I want to make a project that that's all about my city, my hood. You know what I mean? And just keep on, showing love the right way. And I don't feel as though nobody could touch that. You know what I'm saying? Could touch that in the city like me. You know what I mean? I done proved my point. I done proved there's nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? I
Yo, stop
come from a
shaking the
city.
camera.
I come from a city that hate us, a lot of jealousy. You feel me?
Wait.
There's a
Before we
lot.
get into that, though, right? Before we get into that, what was Camden known for before Big Lou?
I said, you want to be stock? No, I said, motherfucking, I don't know. I mean, Camden, listen, at the time we had artists. We didn't, at the time when I came up, we didn't have too many artists. You know what I'm saying? It was poverty. So you either had to try and do music or play some type of sport to make it out. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. That's what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Like either
So
you
it was just
slinging crap
known as
rock
like a
or
really rough place. That's what it was mainly known for.
yeah, at the time it was very rough. When I came up in Camden, that's when it was the murder capital for like over
Yo, we
10
murder for
years.
capital.
Yeah, it was the murder capital for over 10 years. That's when Camden was really bad. Before they made it, they blended Camden with Morristown, Cherry Hill. They blended it. That's why a lot of these cats Excuse me. That's why a lot of these cats that's not from Camden, they be like, yeah, I'm from Camden, but you'd be like, where from in Camden? Oh, Willingboro. You know what I'm saying? But they
Remember we
not
said
from
that they
Camden.
say Camden County.
Exactly. They say Camden County. You feel me? Because they come from, I mean, the county, the whole county is a whole now, just like the Camden police, they metro police now.
Right.
So now the murders in just Camden alone is still high. But these politicians, they did that on purpose to fool you. For they could think that the murders is dropping because it's they putting it in a hole though. But if you just put the 8 square miles of murders at Camden, you see what it was before. It was like 60 murders, 70 murders in an 8 square mile city. You know what I'm saying? And that was way too much, you know what I'm saying, murders in 1 year for 8 square mile city. And it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they had to change that. So they want to make it look like they doing their job. They doing this great job with the politicians. They not doing shit. The hood is still the hood. You know what I'm saying? They just got it. They just made it. Like I said, they turned the Camden police to metro. They added all these other little cities that's more suburbs. You know what I'm saying? And they made it, they made it what it is.
Man, that C.M.D project though, you gotta dig in your bag and pull out that "Do you really want to kill me?" That type of style, bring it back
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. And that's what I'm already doing, man. It's gonna have that type of flavor. They're gonna see it's all about the hood, it's all about C&D. And that's why I said, you know what I mean, when they mention Camden, mention me. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens. Anybody that goes out, as much as these little rappers hate it, and they hate when somebody, oh, you from Camden? You know Big Lou? That's the first thing they say. You know Big Lou. Because they know I carry
Mhm.
Camden on my sleeve, and I always been the biggest thing out there. You know what I mean? Let you tell it though. Flim Flam and Flim, they the biggest, you know what I'm saying? But people know what's real, you know what I'm saying? People know the God MC, you know what I mean? They know the Spanish Frank White. That's legacy. That's
Yeah.
legendary.
Yo, you
You know
need
what
to
I
let
mean?
me be in
So
one of the music videos when I bust out with a double barrel shotgun, like, get your ass on the motherfucking floor!
oh,
Boyaka, boyaka!
come on, man. You already at everything, you know what I'm saying? You my right hand man. You feel me? So you
Come in,
already at
busting the
everything.
door open, like, get your ass on the ground right
Nah, you gotta do the motherfucking bolo part and shit.
now! Yo.
When he had when he had the raps and shit.
All right. So I notice you tend to make a lot of posts, right? Like on social media about other
Right, right.
rappers and people in your city. Like there's a lot of static that is within the politics of Camden. Like, where does all of
Right.
this come from?
No, it's not. I mean, it's not really like the stat. I mean, there's a lot when it comes to the hip hop scene in Camden, there's a lot of separation. But it's because cats just don't want to accept the truth. You feel me? They don't want to accept the truth. If they accept the truth, like, all right, who's the nice? It's hard for them to be like, all right, let's put this into perspective. If Lou was like Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Am I LeBron? Is that Kobe Bryant? Is we gonna get? Is we gonna be? Everybody can't be Michael Jordan. You feel me? Oh, so why Lou can be called Michael Jordan? See, and that's the problem. You feel me? Like, what's wrong with Kobe? What's wrong with LeBron? What's wrong with Kyrie? Nobody want to play their roles. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when Jay-Z started Rock Nation. It's Jay-Z, it's Young Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? You got all these different voices. And that's why I did the track called Voices to show that we got different faces. But when the different faces start feeling animosity towards each other, it just gets ruined and it's sad. And it's just one or two bad apples, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I see like the interviews and shit like that, and you see the rappers, they talk and they mention me. Some of them mention me, and it's always like they start off good, but then in the back, they try to throw me up under the bus. You know what I'm saying? To make me look bad or say shit that I didn't say. Or, you know what I mean? I don't want to give too much energy, but there's this one podcast that he came out and he was like, why Lou don't show these young niggas love like that? Like, motherfucker, I did the Kuma Awards. This dumb motherfucker didn't do his fucking, like, his history check. I done gave awards. I started the award show. Before all these motherfuckers, nobody was giving artists in the city awards. I started that shit. Now you got like 4 or 5 different people giving people awards in the city. They always jack what I did. If I started doing shows and I started doing clubs and everything, you got motherfucking copycats everywhere. Everybody want to do what Big Lou do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, get your own shit. You feel me? Do your own thing. Stop riding my fucking dick. But then it became a thing that I said, you know what? Let them. Let them do it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just pioneer. It's like when Smack said, you know what I mean? Let these little battle leagues come. It ain't gonna be URL. You feel me? URL is always gonna be that, and that's how I felt. Like, let them get it, but it was like at the same time, let's come together and build. Don't try to kick my back in because then it's gonna be a problem. You feel me? And that's the shit with Camden. They just don't know how to work together, man. And it's sad. It's sad because sometimes it's the older motherfuckers. It's not the younger niggas. And I remember when the older motherfuckers was younger and they used to talk that shit. And now they ain't too old. Now they got the grades and shit like that. And if you can't hold your pen game and you don't stay nice, like that's why I talk my shit, because I'm the fountain of youth, nigga. Like I'm older now, but I'm the fountain of youth. I still got a young boy following. You know what I'm saying? I still can get on the track and fuck with somebody like an A Boogie or somebody, you know what I mean? Because I could change my styles. I stood with the times. A lot of these niggas, they just need to give it the shit up. You know what I'm saying? Don't live off all that old shit. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna count. And I try to just inspire the younger niggas from my city to have that same goal. You know what I'm saying? Like talk that shit. You feel me? When motherfuckers is hating on you, keep on grinding, keep on doing your shit. You know what I mean? But then some of these motherfuckers, they forget real fast. Cause I see a lot of these young niggas that some of these so-called vets didn't show no love to. But once they all washed up and somebody gives them an opportunity, now they all bosom buddies and shit. You know what I mean? And they forgot who used to look them out when they ain't had nobody. You know what I mean? So that's all it is, man. I don't pay too much attention to it. You know what I mean? I talk my shit because I could talk that shit. You feel me? But I'm always gonna prove my point, and I'm always gonna carry Camden the way it need to be carried. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always gonna try and take it there, and I'm gonna support the right motherfuckers, the right young motherfuckers that's gonna big Camden up the way I carried it, the way I wear it on my sleeve. I'm gonna always, hold them accountable too to what you do in your city. You know what I'm saying? And be real. You know what I mean? And I'll gladly pass the torch to a motherfucker that deserves it. Right now, I haven't found somebody that really deserves the torch right now, but I'm definitely gonna pass it.
What's the holdup on the projects right now?
Um, well, we wanted to make sure everything was right. You feel me? We wanted to make sure everything was right. I mean, you know more than me. You know, it's all about it's all about who we dealing with. You know, I came from waiting a long time with legal shit. You feel me? And believe it or not, the legal shit still kind of in play. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I can make music and I'm making music, which you know very well, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you know what I mean?
You got some fire.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, we gonna kill it. We gonna kill it, Chop. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you know you on this journey with me because it's gonna be dope, man. People gonna see, and Camden is gonna see my city. They gonna be proud, you know what I'm saying? And they gonna be like, damn, this nigga done it again. I've been carrying the hood for 3 decades, man. 3 decades since I was 14, 15 years old. Since I was a little nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still doing it, you know what I mean? But now it's just better, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna hear it, you know what I mean? You're gonna hear how the times sharpen. It's like Jay-Z, you know what I mean? Jay-Z stayed with the times and always come out with great records, you know what I mean? And it's something different. Something different for everybody. I just got back in my bag. I did that vintage Big Lou, the concepts, the bars, you know what I'm saying? That's what people want to hear, and that's what I'm gonna give them.
Yeah, and y'all not ready for my 16 when I'm gonna be kicking. That's right, I'm gonna be coming in with them flames, boy.
Let me hear something. Let me hear something, Chop. Let me hear something, Chop.
Yeah, I leave you annihilated. Your ass got violated. I just demonstrated. You know what I do? I masturbated. Now it's all come on your hair. What you fuck? I don't care. Yeah, I threw it over there. Now you gotta use Nair to remove that shit.
Baby.
What you wanna do? I'm gonna make you lose that shit. You ain't ready for this? You don't know what you. That's right. Straight off the dome, right there, baby. Hit you with that lyrical chrome, baby.
Fucking Chop. Chop the Magnificent.
Chop Bizzle. Yo, they gonna kill me in the comments and be like,
Chop
oh
the
yeah, now you
Magnificent.
try to act like this, you gonna try blah blah blah.
Yo,
take a fucking joke.
Chop,
come on, man.
Chop is a fucking y'all don't really know this man. Behind the scenes, this nigga need a new career because this nigga's a comedian. And I'm talking about on camera too. On camera, you do the illest spoofs and everything. Yo, that should be funny as hell. That's why I be telling you, nigga, you gotta put that shit out.
All right, well, let's move on to this, but you about to be in a movie soon too, right? And this is the one where you not gonna be on the computer acting like you're doing something that you really not doing at all. Okay, this is gonna be a real movie role, okay?
Yo, see, and people don't know that I was in a good movie. That was like what when the Slay days, the K Slay days, and I showed you a piece of that joint, and oh, that was hilarious, yo, because I was I was on a computer. That was the worst acting job in acting history, yo. But I can act now. Don't get it fucked up. Now I can act. You know what I mean? I had to take lessons and shit like that. You know what I mean? And get sharp. So now I can act.
Wait.
Then,
When you say act, can you just like start shedding a tear randomly coming down? One tear like Denzel and Glory? You know, can you do that?
I really get I could really cry tears, bro. Like I could really cry tears.
I
And
don't want to see you play a gangster role though. I want to see you in like some kind of like comedy role, like something that's different.
Now I could play a comedy role. I could play a good comedy role. You know what I'm saying? I could play a real good comedy role, and I could play. I don't want to play a gangster role.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
just
the
gonna be like
film.
you one of those actors that just play themselves in every single role. You know?
I want to play a superhero though. I want to be a superhero.
Oh
I want to
hell
be a superhero.
no.
Yeah, but I want to play a funny superhero. I want to be like a funny superhero nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I shall beat you with my nightstick.
Like, 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 like the Fix or something. Like, call me the Fix and shit.
The Fix?
Yeah, the Fix. Like, you know
What
what I
you
mean?
fixing? The plumbing?
When motherfuckers need, when them fiends are sick, I'll give them a fix. I was like, fuck you.
I thought that was your prior job.
Yeah, that was too.
We talking 20 years ago,
Uh,
okay? 20 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
Statute of
That's 20
limitations is
years.
passed, okay?
That's old. I've been stopped there,
Yeah.
man.
But I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to see what you got going on. You know what? I would love to see though. I would love to see a music video in the style of the 90s where they had like those little cut scenes, at the beginning or the middle of the music video where they put like more thought into it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I got something like that. It's
Yeah,
crazy
I
you
think that
say
would be
that.
crazy.
Nah, it's crazy you say that because I got something like that, and it's actually off the motherfucking the Raekwon joint, Incarcerated Scarfaces. I got
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. Yeah, I did a remix to Incarcerated Scarfaces. That's tough, tough. You know what I'm saying? Watch a million motherfuckers trying to do Incarcerated Scarfaces now. After they hear that shit, like, yo, I'm gonna do that shit. Yeah, but I did one. I did some. I did a a freestyle video to the Incarcerated Scarfaces joint. You know what I mean?
Man, you
That's
just got
dope.
like a whole bag of shit waiting, bro, like to just
Yeah.
unleash.
No, listen, when we drop, and it's gonna be a lot, it's gonna be this year. Everybody like, yo, you taking too long. Nah, it's gonna drop at the right time. Put it like that. It's gonna be the right time because I'm definitely gonna drop. I know it sounds like I'm bullshitting, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people been like, but Chop more than
Yeah, I
anybody.
know. We've
I've
been
been
doing a
feeding
lot of
you.
talking, a lot of
Yeah,
planning. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. So you know how it's gonna be. So they're gonna be entertained, and our name is gonna get back where it needs to be. And you know what I mean? We just gonna keep it busy, and we gonna do it. We gonna do it. Watch. You know what I mean? Show and prove. Don't show and tell.
All right, Lou. I just want to thank you for your time, man. Is there anything else you want to say to the people before we go ahead and wrap it up?
Um, Nah, man, just be on the lookout for a lot of music this year. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna drop. Shout out to the Big Luke fans that stuck with me since day one, because I got a lot of loyal fans that definitely been sticking with me. You know what I mean? S- Trust me, I ain't been down and out. I just been doing a lot of different shit. You know what I mean? Along with doing the family shit, and you know what I mean, being a father to my kids, you know what I mean, and being a good man and a good husband to my wife. You know what I mean? I'm also still being that artist that's gonna feed the world. And the movie scene is about to get some vintage Big Lou acting too. On some motherfucking Denzel ain't got shit on him. Now you know I'm lying. Now you know I'm lying this shit.
Yo, can you do a role like Will Smith where he had the accent? When he was the doctor and shit like that? Concussion or whatever that was? Like, can you do a role with like a Puerto Rican accent or something? That would be dope.
Yeah, I could do that shit. Yeah, I could do that shit, nigga. What you talking
That
about?
would
You
be
think I can't
dope.
do? I could be like, you want a romantic scene like with me with a chick,
Pause.
or you want talking that shit like with me with a chick? I said me with a chick. I ain't say a nigga, nigga. I said me with a chick. I
All
said me
right.
with a chick. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm ready to show you some acting skills.
All right. Show the acting skills.
To be continued. Nah, shout out to you, Chop, man. Thank you for having me. I think this motherfucking interview was a little bit too short. So we gonna come back and give y'all some more because there's a lot of questions that you didn't ask me, but
What did I
you
ask you?
didn't ask. I don't even know. I'm gonna save it for the next part. Nah, thank you, Chop, for having me, man. Panda Chop, my partner, my brother. Love you. Love the fans for supporting me. Thank you for having me. God bless.